G'day, NotJah Witness here with CAP Brony. How you doing, mate?
Doing okay. It's really early in the morning here.
And it's not really late here. It's just, good time. What time is it there, Cap?
Basically, since we're 1 minute off, we're just gonna call it 5 a.m.
Oh, well, that could be worse. Like, I'm pretty sure you were up a bit earlier when you shouldn't have been.
Yeah. Yeah, just cannot get back to sleep.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But no, I'm not trying to stall this this monstrosity that you have planned. I would never do such a thing.
Yeah, I have an interesting thing planned. I've, for some reason, decided that we're going to do a first viewing and a response in our non-smart intellectual grading with XC way of Guyman's latest video. So obviously we'll probably hit it up again with XC at some point to do it properly. But for now, let's have some fun. It's going to be a bit tricky for me setting this up, making it work, pausing, playing, all that jazz. So for the most part, first responses are on CAP Brony, and you can have fun.
Yeah,
I want to throw all and have fun. Just before we go, is there any bodies in the chat? Have we only got me and you watching at the moment, Cap?
I don't even have it up, so.
Oh, that means somebody else is watching. Who's there? Is it Hans?
Might be. Hans seems to show up everywhere. Either Hans or they. They's everywhere too, so.
Could be Nadine. Nadine might be waking up early.
Well, it would be 7:30 for Nadine. Because she's 2.5.
Spooky! Oh, how did I not think of Spooky?
Yeah, Spooky! Hey!
Of course it's Spooky.
I'm getting the pop-out chat right now, so it's going to say that there's an extra person viewing. Now it should go away.
Oh, we got more people viewing. Hello. One of them will be you, I'm guessing, or are you still only doing pop-out?
I just exited out, so... Yeah, I was only doing it to get the chat.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got somebody else in there. Welcome. Good to see ya. Always love seeing the Spooky in the chat.
Yeah, I do too.
So yeah, as you probably heard, we're going to hit up some silly, stupid, brainless Guyman video where he attempts to respond to me and XC, and we're just going to have some giggles because, why not? So you ready for that, Cap? I'll get it set up.
About as ready as I'll ever be. Since I don't think we get a 10-year reprieve on this.
No. Okay, so you got to, while the video is playing, I won't be able to talk or respond. It switches my audio. So just, be aware of that.
Yep. Yep.
I'm just switching over now. God, I wish there was an easy way to do this. Hey, I might actually keep this.
I'm not hearing anything.
Keep responding to this NotJah Witness War on Teachers thing. This is part 6. Ooh, this is a long video. Where we left off, he was at 1,010%, and I was at negative 460%. Let's pick up right where we left off at the 3544 mark.
Worked harder than the teachers, and the teacher just wrote on a board all day. Dr. Guyman, please do me a favor and don't become a teacher. You are in way over your head. You do not know what you're even talking about. Teaching is not something you can just do. You have to actually work at it. Saying all we do is write on a board is like saying all you do is sit there on your backside in your classes. You have no idea the work, the time, and the effort it takes to put in You have now officially failed this response video with an F. Hey, NotJah,
Okay, stop. I don't know if we can handle this, NotJah. I think we might break the internet. There's 3 of you in this video. Either there's 3 of you or I'm drunk.
Technically at the moment, pretty sure there's 4.
Oh yeah, because you got the comment too. So yeah, we're gonna break the internet.
We are gonna break the internet with an overload of NotJahs.
Yes. Oh boy.
It's the world is turned upside down.
Well, for you that would make it right side up.
Yeah, I know, but we're because you're the where the main part of the world is, you know.
Yeah. Well, actually, you aren't anywhere because we know you're in England because we all know Australia is an English conspiracy, so they could kill all criminals. Or Australia
What did I tell you about calling me a pom?
I'm just saying what the theory is. I mean, and you know it's true because it's on the internet.
Oh yeah, the internet is always right.
Yeah,
always.
Hence this video we're watching. I'm sure that there's nothing wrong in this video.
No, not at all. No errors on anyone's behalf. This is all just correct information.
Oh, I'm sure. I like that hashtag spooky. I say we keep it around. Boot NotJah.
No, I don't think that's gonna pick up as well as boot cap. Boot cap just rolls off the tongue. Boot NotJah is such a it's a pain to get around.
How about Bootja?
Yeah, but that doesn't narrow it down, does it? I mean, I like that. Jah is short for Jehovah.
Yeah,
so I'll fucking
I'm okay
that.
with that.
I'll boot that fucker. Yeah, that's what I mean. I wouldn't have a problem. That's not me.
But yeah, let's get back to the idiocy.
Okay, I am audioing out. Before I do, there you go.
Oh.
Simply saying that I don't understand something doesn't instantly make me stop understanding it. That's an argument from incredulity again. Take a drink.
Stop. Wait, hold on. No, that's the one that Xy's responding. Okay, Xy will take care of that. Never mind. I was like, I can't. I'm not sure which Guyman is which right now. There's too many.
You can go for it whenever you want to. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, by saying that you don't understand something after they have proven that you don't understand what you're talking about when it comes to teachers. Yeah, see, I'm not a teacher yet. I'm going to school to be a teacher. And I don't even know what all teachers do. I do know several teachers, so I have an idea. And you are wrong. And I think Xy will pretty well tell you that here in a bit.
All right, yeah, I'll go back. I'll agree. Okay, 50% for proper use of terms, and also 10% for a word salad. I never clarify where you do not understand what you're talking about. Because if you knew the stuff we teachers do, you would have never said what you said. So that now puts you at a whopping negative 520%.
Exactly. You never clarified. So 5% for an unproven assertion. But
Molly, was that you?
Good morning.
Yeah, welcome to the shit show.
Welcome to our hell.
I'm not asleep.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, I am. I honestly, well, I'll say this. I'm trying to come up with jokes for you right now. It's just I'm not good at writing them.
Yeah, that's okay.
I have 2 ideas for one. I'm trying to find a way to word them to make them funny.
Oh.
So I'm gonna say I don't want to give any hints away.
Oh! Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have had you 2 on together.
It will give us. It will definitely give us ammunition.
I hope so.
Yeah, but
like
don't
Molly
worry.
I got
a new. Yeah, but don't worry. I'm sure we can keep Sleeping Beauty up. Oh crap! Did I just give away my nickname for the whole roast and your nickname that I'm going to give you from now on? Although I don't have much room to talk. I don't know. You
Right.
see me on movie night?
Yeah,
Did you see
I
me the
know.
other day?
We've all heard you both snoring on movie night.
Yeah. Although in my defense, with the last one with NotJah that I was on, that I ended up falling asleep on, I was in fact at 5 going to bed at that time when he says, "Hey, you want to do a random stream?" Like, sure, why not? So that was bedtime.
Right.
Well, I mean, you know, sleep is a priority. Make sure you got sleep. Like Molly, if you're too buggered, go back to sleep, bro.
No, I just woke up. It's time to get up. It's 5 a.m. If you wake up much later than this during the day, you waste the whole day.
Oh fuck, man! I don't even know what 5 a.m. is.
You're an early riser
Yeah.
too, aren't you, Cap?
Yeah. I was up at 2:30. I tried to go to sleep earlier because I had to because I have to leave early today, more than I normally do, and I was up at 2:30 because I just didn't sleep well, and I don't sleep a lot as is.
Right,
But I like try to fall asleep around 8:30, 9 o'clock, and every time I manage to just start to doze off, some moron decided to set off a firework and didn't stop till about 11. So,
did you see that Godless Island's son showed up? That was awesome. Out of the blue like
I
that.
did not. I was in the process of
you left early, didn't you?
I watched, like, are you referring with the which stream? The after show?
Last night, the after show, yeah.
The after show,
Okay, yeah, I was only there for part of it because after he booted
Watch
me,
the last 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, because after he booted me, I curled up pretty much. I was in bed.
I just
take that back. Watch it all. It was a great after show, but for
the parts that I saw before, because I like joined in part a little bit later, and then I had it on for a little bit after they booted me because they apparently have Godless Island has no culture. He booted me for Shakespeare.
Me and you in.
But surprise.
Yeah, well, I knew he was gonna boot me, so I was just like, "Yeah, I gotta get going. I gotta get some sleep." So yeah, screw it. I'm gonna just do Shakespeare and let him boot me for that.
Oh,
or at least my own bit of it.
They love you, or else they wouldn't have let you on in the first place.
Oh, I know. Like he had messaged me. He goes, you know, I love you, don't you, Cap? And I go, yeah, but don't start being nice to me, or I think you hate me.
So, Molly, do you know what we're doing here tonight, or did you just jump in when you saw the link?
Yeah. I literally just woke up. I'm like, what the hell, link? I'm like, fuck it, I'll get on.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, sorry to tell you now, but we are watching through Guyman's latest video on XC and myself in his attempt to raid us back.
Oh, heck yeah.
And I don't know how. I'll have to watch the other parts, but apparently he thinks that NotJah and XC are at a negative, what was it, 1,010%. It's all because XC always, Guyman cannot stay in the positive because he makes the same mistakes over and over and over again, and XC has to go in and bust his ass for it. And the thing is, I don't know if have you seen NotJah's gradings of them, or at least XC's gradings that NotJah reads? Unless if they're the same person.
Are you talking about NotJah's channel?
Yeah, on NotJah's channel where he goes through and breaks them down. Yeah, because XC's the one. He's the one who writes those, right? He writes it all. NotJah?
XC writes most all of it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll throw in a few things here and there sometimes.
All right.
Not much. Not enough to take credit for it.
Yeah. But yeah, it
looks like Spooky never sleeps either.
Yeah.
No,
it's like there's a stream. Spooky's on it. There's no just spooky.
It could be at 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 5 o'clock in the morning. He's still there. He's a trooper.
Yeah. Spooky's awesome and a huge support for the community.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta give props to Spooky for that.
For sure.
Yeah. Now, I want to warn you, Molly, when I do play this video, I cannot speak at the same time. So, but anytime you want it to stop, you just, yell pause or something, and I'll pause it, and then you can just go straight into discussing what you wanted.
I vote, instead of yelling pause or stop, I vote we go movie night and yell drink. Yes.
Oh yeah, no, that works. Yeah, drink. Hey, Hans, I knew you were gonna fucking show up. We were.
Yeah. Hey,
you were in here earlier.
Here, I'll get you the chat.
Drink.
Spooky.
Oh, hey, Hans. I forgot. These are all our European buddies. Morning, Hans. Well, what time was it over there?
It'd be
9 hours ahead, 8 hours ahead.
I don't know.
So
I think Hans is
Norway.
I want to say he's 8 or 9. I want to say he's 9.
It's Norway, I know that. So I'd say 8 hours ahead or so.
It's 12:15, so he is 7.
7, okay.
So yeah,
that makes sense.
Because because me and Mo are on the right time zone. We're on real time.
No, that is not factual. That is just not factual. But anyway, we're going to go jump back into the into the video. So,
wait, are you accusing us of stalling? We would never stall.
I at least want to get out some form of focus before we go into the yibba yabba. I don't mind yibba yabba, but just yeah. Okay, switching over now.
Because you admitted it, I'm giving back 3 of those 5 points. So now you're at negative 1,012.
Can we get a little bit back? Because I'm not sure what he was taking off for. That he's giving back. Can you just go back just a hair before the pause?
Okay, there we go. Now you can hear me.
Right.
I'll be honest. No, I can't actually do that. I'm
not sure, because it was at 1,010, and I'm trying to figure out what the 5 was. What he's saying, he's giving back for. Where did XC say that?
Wonder if this works. I mean, this might fuck everything. We have to start again, but no, that didn't do shit. That's all good.
Okay.
Can I do anything with this? That's flip and rotate. I don't want to do that. I wonder if I can make it 60. That'll be cool.
Oh well, don't worry about it, NotJah.
Yeah, I can't do that sort of focused. It's annoying, but what are you gonna do?
Okay. All right. Never mind then.
That's kind of why I didn't want us to get too off on tangents until we finish this, so that we can.
Yeah. All right. That makes sense on why.
Content. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll get back to it, and we just got to catch up. Minicam. There it is.
You out on incredulity. So, and take a drink. Grog.
Drink. Yeah. No, just no. That what they were saying was not an argument from incredulity. Argument from incredulity, and I know this has probably been explained to you. Actually, I know it's been explained to you by XC through NotJah's script, that an argument from incredulity is basically, that's so incredible, I can't believe it. XC never said anything of the sort. Therefore, it was not an argument from incredulity.
And
so
for the record, I'll just let you know that you can refer to us as XC or NotJah in this case, because I am speaking it for XC, so either way, it's okay.
Yeah, that's why, because you speaking, so I'm just saying, what is the idea? I'm like, no, XC wrote, so it's XC, yeah.
Don't worry about whichever one that comes out, it works. It means the same
Or am I trying to actually leak the conspiracy that you and XC are one and the same?
Shush, dude. Shush. Guyman will get ideas.
No, just this Guyman, you need to learn. So for my best XC impression, and I'm sure that if XC ever shows up or says, I will get my butt reamed for it, but I don't care. 10% for presenting false and inaccurate information. So there. Or no, I guess that would be improper use of terms, actually, because it was
You know
wrong.
who Guyman's voice reminds me of, kinda? Do you know who Rev Jr.
What?
is?
Who?
You know who Rev Jr. is, don't you?
I've heard the name, but I haven't looked into it
Yeah,
much.
I've heard it before, but I'm not familiar with them.
Their voice sounds a lot alike.
Okay.
Oh, true. Unlucky for them.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Molly, did you have anything else? Like, was that it? I didn't mean to cut anything off.
No, go ahead. Let her play.
All right, we'll get into it.
Sports games, dates, and even our religious practices to finish the assignments you gave us.
Okay, you sacrifice your sports games, your dates, and religious practices. But I can tell you right now that this is another unsubstantiated claim, 5%.
Guyman needs better internet.
Producing false and inaccurate information for the whole lot, as I don't want you to think I'm being that cruel.
If you actually think that this claim is unsubstantiated, you must have never been a student. This is an argument from incredulity again.
Drink, you idiot. I was a multi-sport, multi-extracurricular student in high school. Granted, that was 10 years ago, but I still did it. I did track, basketball, band, and cross country, not to mention chess club, FFA, as well as a host of other activities that I was a part of. So, yes, you can do all the stuff that the teachers give you. And I had some pretty tough teachers who love to pile on the homework. So, yeah, you can do it if you manage your time. It's called time management.
Yeah.
Make sure you know what you have and you don't goof off. Granted, 90% of the time I barely did my homework and only did enough to pass. But don't ever start that habit, Guyman, if you are thinking about it, because it will come back to bite you when you get to college. I know. I had that happen.
Yeah. Experience counts for a lot sometimes, but others don't necessarily learn from another's experience.
Yeah. I'm trying to, save him the trouble and all the, oh crap, you can't do that in college, experience that I had, because it is not fun.
Why is he wearing a fake mustache?
Because he needs to hide his identity, although he's shown his face on camera by accident before.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah, he thinks the Groucho Marx look is funny, and it's not. It's bad.
And it's not even that.
That was my first question. Why the fuck is he wearing a fake mustache?
Look at the thumbnail on the left. You've pretty much got a full idea. All you don't get is his nose profile. That's all you don't get. And that is pretty easy to assimilate, given when he drops the mask many times or does bad fucking angles.
There was one where he actually took his mask off, and then realized he took it off. He took it off on camera.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. He's like, oh, and he goes back for it.
Yeah. So if you could get a good pause screen, you could generate a profile picture, which will generally probably give you a good idea what the actual full face looks like.
I went frame by frame on the original video, and I captured the best shot you got in that video I did.
Okay.
And he's even used that, and I don't think he realizes that what he's looking like. He'll just pause when he wants to pause. I don't think he realizes what's on screen when he pauses it. Because sometimes he'll use, Like, he's used that for his pull screen, and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get back.
Shall do. I'll disappear.
60% for improper use of terms. Also, negative 10% for an unsubstantiated claim. Yes, I was a student not that long ago. I graduated college at 21 and I am now 24, currently at the time of writing this. Trust me, college is more demanding than high school ever was. And if you want to know, I have been out of high school for 7 years.
That still doesn't prove that we don't sacrifice important things to do your assignments.
Great.
So,
No, they never said that. XC never said you don't sacrifice things. They were addressing your claim of that you haven't been, that you've never been a high school student. They were 7 years ago, which means that either they turned 18 after school got out, or, which I know they didn't because they were born in 94, I believe they said, in a comment. And so, no, they are 24. They graduated at 17, which means they graduated in 8. Pretty much they were a year above everybody else. So,
Did you say graduated in 94?
no, they were born.
They were born in 94?
They're 24 years old. They were
That
born.
makes me feel like an old man. I was a junior in high school in 94.
I was born in 90.
That'll be right back.
But no, they said in one of their comments when they were born, it was, I believe, in April.
Okay.
Sometime. Because I saw them. Which, I mean, I don't like that they're 24 because they're younger than me and they make me look like an idiot half the time, I feel, because they know so freaking much.
No, that's not true. You know a lot.
I mean, there's I said I feel like because they're just so freaking smart, but I mean, that's just how I feel with a lot of people. Like whenever I talk with RJ, I feel like an absolute idiot when I talk with him, but afterwards I feel smart.
Oh, RJ, yeah. Like sometimes, excuse me, on movie night, I feel like me, you, and Artemis are like there for comic fodder. The rest of them are all brilliant.
Except one. One video, I took the charge on every drink call. Only one I can think of. And that's because it dealt with my area of expertise. It dealt with like civil work and that type of stuff. So I was like, I know this. It was the only one I actually felt like the smartest person in the room on. Because it was literally just drink, you're wrong, drink, you're an idiot, drink.
I'm back, by the way, so I just didn't know where you were at the convo.
Yeah, we're good. We were just
we're just bullshitting.
Filling time. Yeah. I know how it is. All right, so I shall disappear. It's weird. I get back.
I was going to point one thing out to Mo real quick. I just thought about. He says this in his response videos if you haven't seen, but every time he says improper use of terms, that's for an argument and incredulity, and each time it's 10% added from the last one. So first one's 10, then he gets 20 off, then he'll get another 30 off, then another 40, so on and so forth.
Is that his favorite fallacy, incredulity?
I think in this video, I've seen him use other ones as well. Okay. Hey, Russ.
Russ, welcome.
Hey. What's going on?
You just wake up?
Woke up just a little bit ago.
Russ is also in the LA time zone.
Yeah.
Molly woke up and was immediately in. So
I woke up. I'm like, hey, look.
And Russ, in case you aren't
Well, not
sure,
immediately. I smoked a cigarette first, but close
it's
enough to immediately.
Oh, don't
yeah.
ruin it.
Well, Russ, in case you aren't sure, we're going over and watching and responding to a Guyman video. So you can we're giving you the option to leave before with your sanity before you have to lose it.
My sanity was lost a long time ago.
Okay, then you're fine.
Why do you
We're-
think so?
Exactly.
We're what, probably halfway in or something by now? I don't know, something like that.
I don't know.
So we'll see how it
Oh,
goes.
y'all dicks! Y'all were supposed to wait for me.
Oh,
You took too long.
Russ, no one cares about you. Just
Ah,
go
fuck
away.
Russ.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Like and subscribe.
There you go. There you go. Fuck Russ. New hashtag. Wait,
Right.
that sounds so wrong. Yeah, no, let's not do that. No.
Yes, because everybody wants a piece of the Russ man.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, no.
it's like the Mr. Atheist thing. Fuck Russ, like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're hitting it up.
Yeah, let's
percent for slavery for the third time, and 60% for covering up the actions of teachers for the third time. So now you're at negative.
Not even close. What you're probably referring to is there where they say, yeah, you have to manage your time because you have da 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 to do, and you don't do that. So no, that is not slavery. That's called being a student. And if you think high school's bad, as XC said, college is worse.
Right.
Trust me.
It's
I
a matter
know.
of managing time.
One of the things about college too is the faculty straight up don't give a fuck. If they tell you to settle down and be quiet and you don't, they will walk out.
Yeah, they don't, and they don't pretty much more or less have to. You have to,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, they're not there to waste time. They have every right to walk out.
Oh yeah.
And don't let's not forget, especially if you get the ones that have tenure.
Did everyone else hear that, or did Russ disappear?
No, I'm here. Am I here?
Yeah,
No,
you're
I'm
here. Stop for a second.
Yeah,
I said
something. What you said? Yeah.
Okay, I said, God forbid you get one of the teachers that have tenure.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't think I know what that means.
Tenure is whenever they pretty much they've been there. They have to have a long enough time period, and they've got to meet certain criteria, and that means no matter what they say or do, they don't get fired.
Pretty much, it makes it pretty much almost.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's almost impossible to fire a teacher. It's basically you get like basically seniority there, and it's really hard to get rid of them if they do something bad.
Oh, that sounds alright.
Like the teacher can literally go up to the dean. The teacher can literally go up to the dean and pretty much be like, "Go fuck yourself, guy," and walk away, and nothing can happen.
Yeah, if they do get fired, they have to do something pretty bad to get fired.
Like you're talking almost criminal level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right, we all ready?
Yep.
All right, over mate. I'll disappear.
134%.
So, yeah, I stand by what I've said, but again, I stand by my point of time management. I grade hundreds of assignments each week, teach and coach. I have to find the time to get those grades into the book so my students can have up-to-date grades. So that is 70% off. You are now at negative 590%.
Okay. 20%. Okay. So that 20% for a card stacking fallacy, again, saying that teachers are busier than students.
Drink. Goddamn drink. Teachers are busier than students. You have 8 classes to worry about in high school usually. You know, usually don't have more than that.
And not only that, you don't have to do just one person's homework. You have to do homework. You have to do it for every single student from every class.
And I know.
Hey, Cap, hold it. Hang it. I just want to point one thing out too. It's this. I don't know if that came through properly, but it's his big deep breath.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what it was. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to be a social studies teacher, same as XC, and social studies teachers, usually varying on the size of the school, can teach U.S. History 1, Civics 1 and 2, and usually Civics 2 is an AP Civics course. U.S. History 2, World History, World Geography, U.S. Geography, and and there's usually some other ones in there, such as sometimes schools have current events. So there could easily be 8 classes with up to, varying on the size of the school, 50 plus students. You do the math. And if they have one assignment a week, that's 400 assignments that they're grading a week.
Right.
That's the
lowest.
One thing he can do is math, so he better be able to do that.
And not only that, you have them teaching 8 to 5. Their planning period, at least I know with a few of my teachers in high school, their planning period was literally study hall for other students. And not only that, so they really didn't have a planning period. And then they still have to plan lectures and events and other things. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. No high school student, even if they work a part-time job, works harder than what the teachers do, especially with XC and all that they do, which I still don't know how they find time to sleep and breathe.
What the hell is XC?
XC is the one who writes the responses that NotJah reads.
Oh, okay.
They're a teacher.
Yeah, they're the teacher that I sort of imitate, or I just, I do the, read the responses and I do up the videos and stuff for them.
Oh, okay. Well, you see, what I was going to say was that, you have...
Can you get a bit louder?
You have... Yeah, can you hear me get better now?
Yeah, you're much better, mate.
Okay. But, so you have... the average student does his 8 classes, has his homework, and that's about it.
Yeah.
You can't even make the case for the ones that do all the extra stuff like football
You said
or all that. Yeah. But you don't even have a case if you just strictly go off of the ones that have all the extra stuff like football and like choir and things like that. Even they are not busier than a teacher is.
Sorry, I got distracted and it was like, all I could, at least Spooky's honest with me. They said it sounded like a baby elephant. my horrible attempt at doing it, I should have just turned the filter off to do that, but anyway. Was there any other input? I do apologize. Are you back, Molly? Did you end up getting yourself some coffee?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I was also looking for my Jesus Christ! I looked everywhere and it was right on the floor in front of me. I'm a fucking idiot.
Jesus Christ anywhere.
And if I did, I'd put him back where I found him.
It's like, what did I just step in? And see Jesus on your foot. It's like, oh, it's shit.
I know this is totally off subject. NotJah did, but did Nadine show you how to use OBS?
Well, for the most part, we're just having a few issues with it.
I think my mic cut out for a second because I was trying to say something and it wasn't. Is it working now? Can you hear me?
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to say something, but it kept. I think my mic cut out for whatever reason.
What were you trying to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I know that when I become a teacher, I would love to coach. Like, I would love to coach cross country because I ran in high school and it was a lot of fun. But the odds of me, I don't know if I'll have time because I know I'll be in at my class at 7 o'clock in the morning helping students or grading papers and doing work. And I probably won't leave till like 5. And that would
Yeah,
probably
'cause-
that would be a lucky day.
Oh no.
That's
Wait,
the
what
teacher's
kind
life.
of? Where you're gonna teach high school, right?
High school social
Middle
studies.
school?
Brave,
Okay,
brave
yeah.
motherfucker.
Look, they make time. I've had several coaches that were teaching my classes.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm like, because I know how much work teachers can do, and I'm just like, I don't know if I would be able to do it all. I mean, I would love to, but like I said, I'm not a teacher yet. I'm not done with school yet, so I'll wait until I obviously get a teach because I could go to like a smaller school where obviously I won't have as many students. Then I could probably do it. But if I ended up like a large school, I might not have the time. I don't know.
Do you want to stay in the area once you get your degree?
No. I want the hell out of the state.
Yeah.
He's gonna move down to Texas.
No thanks. I will probably actually, if I move anywhere, I'll probably one of the states I'm looking at is Maryland.
Maryland?
Yep.
Boo.
Why
I have
Maryland? I mean, did you just open a map and point or
No.
what?
No, I have family out in Maryland as well as my girlfriend lives in Maryland.
Well, don't move to Baltimore, dude. You'll end up getting murdered or something.
No. Okay, me and actually, you're familiar with the Reading Rainbow theme, the butterfly in the sky thing. Me and her actually wrote a parody of Baltimore, Maryland. It was a butterfly in the sky, the murder rate's twice as high. Take a look, there's a crook, Baltimore, Maryland. So yeah, I want to work in Annapolis. I would love to work
I could sing that for you so you can hear it.
Oh, she sang it before. She sings much better than me. There's a reason I'm not gonna sing it. If you want to sing it for everyone else, go right ahead.
Wait, what are you singing?
A parody of the Reading Rainbow that me and my girlfriend made up.
Okay.
I just gave the words to it, so do you need me to type them out, Russ?
Oh no. It was butterfly in the sky, murder rates twice as high. Take a look, there's a crook, Baltimore.
Yep. Yeah.
But does everybody want to hear it?
If I'm okay for it, it saves us from Guyman.
Yeah, but you just got to think it just means once you're done, you have to still get back to Guyman.
Yeah, true. Let's wait till afterwards. Then we have that as a refreshing for our brains because our brains are gonna be mush after this. So yeah, let's get going, I guess.
Alrighty.
And that time management is not the answer to all of the world's problems. So now you're at negative 1,154%.
Where do these percentages come from?
What?
Where do these percentages come from? I mean,
his percentages from the little bit that I saw make absolutely no sense. XC actually has a set standard where each thing gets X amount of deductions, and he's gone into the negatives every time XC is graded. Like literally, XC just finally at one point just said, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna stop at 0. I'm just gonna keep going," and they went into the negative.
I just wonder if are they like godless engineers, God points? They mean absolutely nothing.
For him, yes. Even with I don't even think XC will say that his grading is actually meant like they mean what they say and they're trying to make them better. I think. Again, I'm just going off of what I think.
And
but
they have some form of accuracy, but they're not.
But they don't. But I don't think XC is like doing it as like an actual thing. They're just doing it more for fun and entertainment. I think for themselves.
Okay.
But they do legitimately seem like they do want to help Guyman get better.
Yeah, I was gonna say there is a bit of a point to try and learn Guyman some bullshit that we
doesn't
know.
But no matter what you do, Guyman's always gonna sit there and have a problem with what you just said.
Right.
Yeah.
He's one that he just argues for the sake of arguing, kind of thing.
No,
Yeah.
Mo,
Oh,
he
well.
doesn't argue just for the sake of arguing. He argues for the sake of arguing. Gosh, Mo.
Idiot.
Idiot.
No.
No, it's not idiot, Mo. It's idiot.
The best grade you can on this video, despite already having
Jeez.
failed. First off, I will reference my point of time management, something you seem to have trouble with. Nothing wrong with that, you just need to work at it. I have many multi-sport athletes who I teach who do not have this problem. I have several students who I will actually have a weekly meeting with to make sure they are staying on top of their work, because they, like you, lack time management skills. I stay in contact with their parents and let them know the schedule will be worked out for their student. I have students who go on dates, and I have students who are religious and also go to work. They do not have this problem that you speak of. You just need to focus better and come up with a manageable time chart for your classes.
Or more realistically, the teachers at our school need to be more considerate of people's time.
Drink.
What the fuck does that even mean?
God. Drink. Okay,
I
that.
predict you coming.
Like, what does that mean? That they need to be more considerate of others' time?
Basically, don't give them homework so they don't have to actually work outside of class.
Oh, okay, so that way they don't learn shit.
Right.
Yeah, basically,
Literally,
literally
the homework. Literally, the homework. Sorry, but literally, the homework is not there to waste time. It is there for you to retain the knowledge.
Yes.
You learn it in the class, and you do it repetitively at home. You retain it better.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, I hate to say this, but Guyman is, I guarantee you, he's one of those lazy high school students who doesn't want to do the work because he makes all those same points that those students make. Oh, the teacher's so mean, make me do work. Doesn't he know I have this, or this?
Of course. I mean, we did the same. I did the same. I guarantee you, almost everybody who's in high school has done the exact same thing.
Oh yeah, I know there were teachers.
I've done it.
I mean, I've said, I'm like, God, do the teachers get together and just decide we're going to put all of our major projects on the same day so that way they have only like 2 weeks to do all these big projects? I mean, yeah, I've said that and I complain about it, but the thing is, I know that the teachers, were just doing their jobs, but they were also trying to make us better as students as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are normal complaints, but they're usually the ones who make big deals out of them, like Guyman is, are usually the lazier students.
I always find it ironic that he has all this time for his videos and complains about not being able to get his work done.
Yeah. Because wasn't this done during school? If I remember correctly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's after school kind of stuff. Yeah.
So he's over here complaining that, oh, I don't have enough time to do my work. But here you are wasting all your time trying to rebut things.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Isn't
and he
that
fails
lovely?
miserably at trying to rebut things. It's, yeah.
That's not the only thing he fails miserably at.
Yeah, that too.
Alrighty?
Ready?
We as teachers do not need to be considerate of your time. You just need to buckle down and do your work. When you get to the big bad world, you'll find out that bosses don't care about your time. School is the same way.
80% for slavery for the fourth time. That's negative 1,
Drink.
2.
God damn, drink. No, not even
Slavery.
close. Slavery has a very strict definition for what it is. School is not slavery. You are actually getting paid for what you do with a high school diploma and skills to survive in the real world.
Yeah, and I wanted to add that, like, teachers are getting you ready for the real world. That's why they give you homework, so
Yeah.
when you get the real world, you're not overwhelmed by your boss giving you work to
Yeah.
do.
I
I've
have to laugh at. Oh, sorry. I was going to say something that Mediocrity Maze said. It was funny.
Were you gonna say something, Russ?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I've argued with people all the time. Like for instance, when it comes to schools and like having dress codes and whatnot, and they're like, we should just be able to wear whatever we want. And I'm like, you do realize that school is there to train you for what's gonna happen when you go out into the world. So, are you gonna go into a job interview, say dressed in pajamas? I mean, this is
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
these things.
So good.
Oh no, go ahead. I was just gonna say that the school. Just go ahead.
Yeah.
You can finish your point.
Yeah, finish
These
your point,
things-
Russ.
Oh, I was just gonna say that school is not there for anything like to waste your time or anything like that. They're there to train you for what's gonna happen once you're out of school.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's actually true because when I was working on getting my technical certificate for drafting, we originally were supposed to have a completely different final for our class, but literally like 3 weeks before the end of the semester, we had our drafting instructor come in and go, "Yeah, sorry, we're not going to do the final that we were originally planning. You're going to actually do a project for the school. You're going to remodel the dental hygiene building." And so we had to do all that in 3 weeks. And the thing is, we had a dress code in there. It was business, casual. It was, you could wear polos and a pair of nice jeans, just as long as you look presentable. But obviously, we had to present, and he had a dress code of you had to wear at least a tie, khakis and a tie, shirt and tie. So yeah, that was to prepare us for a real world scenario because there's times the boss will walk in into your cubicle at 8 in the morning, say, "I want this done by 5 tomorrow," and you better have it done by 5 tomorrow, or
Yeah,
else
you got to be able
you're
to
dead.
adapt to these
You're gone. Bye bye. They don't need you.
Molly, did you have a point too?
No, they pretty much covered the same thing I said. Like I said, that's what teachers do. They get ready for the real world. So
Exactly. Yeah. No. Well, that's pretty much. I think I think Cap, you might have seen the original video of this, and because you're almost exactly parodying.
Yeah,
what
I think
XC
I
says.
remember XC saying something like that, but it's true though.
It is, and it's
Or
that's
wait, or am I actually reading the script that XC typed because
Wah,
I'm
wah,
XC?
wah.
Or is Mole or Russ XC? Who's the real XC?
I
Who
can
knows?
almost guarantee you I'm not XC.
yeah,
Almost guarantee
I'm
you.
not either.
So there's a possibility of it.
All right.
Yes,
3-4%.
I do care about my students, but I also expect them all to complete my work in a timely manner. So you are being deducted 10% for presenting wrong and inaccurate information. You are at negative 600%.
So 10% for a contradiction. You care about your students, but the school doesn't? That also comes with 5% for a...
God damn,
straw
no.
man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take XC's word on this because I would argue about 99% of the teachers out there, there's probably a small handful that don't, but I would say 99% of them care about the students. I want to become a teacher because I want to help make people better. I want to help people out and make and help, people grow as humans and students. I mean, if I can, if I can help one student, with whatever it may be, whether it be a personal issue or help them, learn a subject, then being a teacher would be worth it. All the sacrifices I would have to go through, all the, stress and everything that I will have to go through to get that teaching degree would be worth it. And I know this because I was a tutor for first semesters when I was in the drafting program.
But the biggest thing is he said that this is a contradiction because they said that he cares about the students, but the faculty doesn't. No, that is a straw man because what he said was, I care about my students, but I expect them to do their work in a timely manner.
Yeah.
That does not say anything about the faculty not caring about students.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm a teacher and I give a student a project and I expect it on a certain day, if that project is not on my desk by the end of that class period that I told them I wanted it by, then that student will have a 0 in the grade book until said project is turned into me, unless they have a damn good reason for not having it, like they were sick that day and couldn't turn in. Then I expected it, before school starts the next day. That will be my policy. And that's about every other teacher's policy in the world.
Well, once again, we were talking about getting students ready. If you don't have your homework done when it's supposed to be done, then you're not preparing for the real world, because the boss ain't gonna take an excuse. Oh, well, I didn't have time. Well, we don't give a fuck if you have time or not. You're supposed to get your work done. Whereas
Norm, my drafting instructor, one of the things he told us, he said, make sure you do your homework on time, because all the employers who hire from us ask what their work ethic is, aka do they do their homework? And I will be more than happy to tell them, you did not do any of your work, or you waited until the last second to accomplish it. Because if he says that, he says, I can almost guarantee that will not get you a job because you have poor work ethic. Even if I don't like you, he said, even if we have our arguments and we don't agree or see eye to eye ever, if you do your homework, I will tell them you do your homework and work hard. Now, I won't hide the fact that we had our disagreements, and then that's for them to decide from. But I will not lie about your work ethic.
Exactly. If you're not serious enough to get your schoolwork turned in, then you're not going to be serious on the job. Plain and simple.
Yeah. If I was a teacher and my what's the word? And I had that type of power where they're like, "Oh yeah, so what is this?" The thing is I could absolutely hate the student, but the very second they ask me what kind of work does he do, and I could absolutely hate him, but if he does the absolutely best work I'd ever seen, I'd be like, yes, we have our disagreements, but he is the best I've ever seen in my class, and you would be stupid not to hire him.
Yeah. I have a friend who's a teacher. You want to know how they grade papers? Because most of their papers are typed that they have to go through and grade. When they get them, they'll actually fold the name down. So that way they're only grading the work that's there. They can't even have any bias on whether they like a student or not, because all they're going to see is their work. They aren't even looking at the name.
Well, that's awesome, actually.
Yeah, because they're like, if I grade, I want it to be the best that it can be.
Right, you're grading the homework and not grading the person.
Yep.
I want to attempt something new for me anyway. When we do a pause, anyone can call the pause, of course, drink, sorry. And when we go from there, because so far it's generally the first to talk, so far just by happenstance is Cap, then it's Russ, then it's Molly. And so I figure that'll be, if Cap goes and calls it, if Russ calls it, it'll go Russ, Molly, Cap. Like it's the same line, it just continues back on itself. And then Molly would go Molly, Cap, Russ sort of thing. Because just for the first response, everyone gets one response first, and then we can do the discussion back and forth.
Yeah.
That way, at
that's
least
fine with me. That's
first
fine.
impression out. Sometimes it's hard to remember after a bit.
Yeah. I'm just trying to work off of what I know from friends who are teachers, and from what I know from researching what teachers do and all that's expected of teachers.
Yeah, what
Because
you're
again, like I said,
getting into.
come August, I'm going to school to be doing this.
Yeah, it's for history too, right?
Yeah, social studies, but yeah, most people just call them, the history teacher because they
Yeah.
mostly
No,
teach
that'll be
history. You
awesome.
occasionally get the civics and geography in there, but it's mostly
Which
history.
is also cool fun. Yeah. All right. Well, we're all good, or anyone else had to say?
I'm good.
Mediocrity in the chat. His ridiculousness might not remain up into his mid-20s. If it does, he'll be lost on critical thinking, likely for most of his life. But he might become self-reflective and humble. At 17, neither. That is a pretty good assessment.
Yeah.
Neither would surprise me. I figured something was coming, but ellipses.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. All right, we're gonna do it.
Because you have perfectly described your slavery of students.
Drink.
So now you're at
Slavery of students. No, that's called being a student. You can easily in high school pretty much drop out pretty much at any time you really want. So it's not, you don't have to go. So no, not even close. Slavery, like I said, has a very strict definition for it. And you are completely bastardizing it. Russ?
So this is an interesting topic that I just thought of. In Australia, until maybe a decade ago, it was against the law for any student-aged citizen not to be enrolled and currently, in classes of, or something like that, Then they had changed it that it's only up until grade 10 where you can either choose to continue your high school or to go directly into a trade. Like just forego your high school and go into a minimum wage sort of labor work, basically.
Yeah.
And it's an advantage because for the younger people, it's very alluring because it's very high paying because they get the wages of a temporary worker, and a young worker is also appealing to the employers because they are more fit and able to do the harder work. And what it does is it drags students or potential students who think that it's not worth, or they see an out, you know what I mean, to get out early. And so when you brought up the fact that it is just drop out, is there any requirement to then have some form of income or some job, or or is it just you can drop out?
I don't really know so much on that. Like, I don't know what all the requirements are, but I do know of one person who dropped out on 9th grade. They just stopped going to school and dropped out. So I know up to at least freshmen, or at least that's what they did. I don't know the legality of it or what they did, but I do know as freshmen they dropped out. Because their dad was really sick and they owned a farm, so he pretty much dropped out to work the farm.
Yeah.
Because he really had much choice. I mean, and that guy was one of the hardest working people I know.
That actually sounds very familiar to one of the stories at XC, because one of the only people they said, I think either dropped out or it was that they had exempted all their classes or something like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not an uncommon story. I'm sure a lot of people know people who've done that. I've said this before, though, for school. I think your junior and senior year, if you know what you want to do, should not be focused on the history and math side of it, unless if it's needed for that. It should be focused on like a trade, such as welding. You want to be a welder, okay? You'll take welding type classes. You want to be a drafter, well, you'll take drafting type classes. You want to go into med school, you'll have something that will correlate. You'll take a lot of science classes. Have it focused towards what you want to do. because that would make college a lot easier. It would make it more appealing, and it would teach you a trade that you can use basically upon graduation. I mean, that's one thing I think that, should happen for, for school. I think that would be beneficial.
I was gonna say something similar. Now I don't know if Australia's like this, but I know Europe, they have like, once you get to a certain age, like 15, 16, they give everybody a test and they figure out whether whether you're the kind of student that can go on to higher education, or if you get put in trade school, whatever. Is Australia like that as well?
Not well. It's probably you're probably right in saying it's a similar thing here too in the UK, but it's not exactly the way you describe it. If it's the same as here, is it the OP score?
I guess I just know that like Americans set them, or a lot of American schools set people up for failure because they're treating all the students the same when they don't all have the same learning abilities or learning levels. I think that instead of everybody's equal, that's not true. Some people are meant to be electricians or plumbers, while others are meant to be physicists or doctors.
Yeah, like me, I started in the go ahead, Russ. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that I know this is anecdotal, but I knew a guy who was by far, he had problems with just understanding certain things. But you put this guy in front of a car, he will be able to take apart, tell you exactly what each and every individual piece of that part of that car is, and be able to not only take it apart, fix it, but then put it right back together.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Like they're they should have specialized training. I mean, test the children, find out where their strengths lie, and then school them accordingly.
Exactly.
Like
That
I
would,
mean, if you got a guy that's good at fucking woodworking or mechanics, and you're trying to put him in trigonometry and physics, then of course he's going to be a failure. I mean,
Well, and
that's
put
this
them
is
where
why
their
I've
strengths
said,
lie.
One at a time.
and this is why, yeah, sorry, and
You're
this
right.
is why I said, I always tell people that the way the schooling system needs to be here, the public schools need to be more like the oh god, what do they call it? More like the private schools, where they pretty much I forgot the actual name, but it's a private school of sorts. And pretty much what they do with their students, so they look at their skills and they ask them what do they want to do with the rest of their life, and then they make a course accordingly.
Yeah. And that would be great, especially with like, since there's a whole bunch of like community college and trade schools. Here's the thing: work with them. Try and get it to where your normal rates of the high school would apply to the trade school, and have that work, so that way they can basically, they'll earn a high school diploma. They'll still take like the few things they might need, but they will focus on what they need to learn. And just, I mean, you mentioned the mechanic. I know someone in high school who they actually helped their dad in a garage over the summer. That was their summer job, and they could, man, they, like you said, they were like that. They could probably take the car apart, tell you what every screw, nut, and bolt was, exactly how big and where it went, and then probably put it back together blindfolded.
I just want to ask: does anybody here know what country in the world has the highest level of education?
Isn't it Norway?
China?
Somebody said China. Somebody said Norway.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Russ said
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think China has the highest level I think they have the highest
Success
level of
rate, that is.
literacy. And they have the highest level of literacy, I think. I don't know.
Finland.
Okay.
It's
I was
England?
close. I was
Finland
close. I said
has
Norway.
a 99% success rate of their fuck, I'm gonna forget the actual exact metric now because I'm a fucking stoner, but basically with their grading by the end of higher education, and then their admittance to colleges is very high as well. That's not the 99%, but it's very high as well. But it's not like ridiculously high, but it's that the other percentage also go along to getting successful, like not every single person, but a high percent again go along to getting successful alternative jobs that don't require the higher education. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
there's something that I'm just curious that everyone, from me, my point of view, they all go on about it being about public education, and I'm like, look, we got public education here, and it's not that, like, it's great. Don't get me wrong, I'd prefer it over private, but it's not the answer. And I was like, is there something in the procedures and the way that they do their go about their educating in Finland that is not necessarily unique, but there's something about it that is creating this success rate.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, yeah, nobody here is going to know now, but I might have to look into that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be due.
So go ahead, Russ.
I was just gonna say it might be due. They might be doing it kind of like how I was saying is, they have these kids that are good at certain things, and they say ask them what do you want to do, and they're like, oh, I want to be this, and then they help. Then they make a course accordingly.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I said, I've said this before and I stand by it, but our education system needs to be overhauled big time. It,
Hmm.
the issue is they try and basically, instead of individualizing it, because no student is the same, they try and basically go, okay, here's a cookie cutter. Let's fit everybody into it. And it doesn't work.
And one of the biggest problems with our schooling system right now is the fact that it's still running off of what over 100 years ago, whenever everything was factory
Yeah.
work and that they were training for, and so we have kids that are learning how to be factory workers, even though that is not what's in demand.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
It's there.
Like the bell system at school. That's all trained to make you a worker bee, pretty much. Like
Yeah.
the bells are supposed to teach you, hey, it's time to start now. The bell rang. Oh, you can go to the bathroom now. The bell rang. Oh, you can eat lunch now. The bell rang. Now you
Yeah.
can go home.
Yeah. And it's yeah, I mean that makes sense. But even so, I mean that's why when people want to get rid of like the industrial arts class or the FFA classes, the welding, the ag, the horticulture, those things. No, I mean no, keep those in
Oh no, no, no.
because those actually, honestly, those are the most valuable classes. I hated welding. When I had to take intro to ag, I hated it, but you know what? It was a skill that it's not for me. I'm not a welder type. I mean, so it's obviously not a job for me, but that's a skill someone could learn and immediately right
Right.
when they get out of high
High
school,
school, they could use it.
boom, they have a job.
Yeah,
You
and the
need a
thing
welder?
is,
Eh,
right.
Yeah,
Good,
there
Russ.
was there was a story a while ago because so many trade jobs are going out the window that actually, you know, um, trade schools are, and that's the thing. We glorify 4-year education too much. We demonize trade schools.
Right.
I don't get why you do that. Trade
I don't
schools
understand
keep
either.
like
Trades are
right.
still
Well,
necessary. I mean,
yeah,
who's gonna?
like
People need to weld. People need to woodwork. I mean, we still need all these things.
Yeah. And with me, with
Not
where
to
I went,
mention,
because I went
it
through a
shouldn't go
trade
without
school to
saying,
get my.
it's a talent within itself as well. A lot of these trades are a talent or a skill. You know,
Yeah.
they're a real skill. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's not like anybody can do these things.
Yeah.
It should be acknowledged.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like with me. I mean, I love my girlfriend very much, but there ain't no way in hell she's doing what I went to school for, because you have to be able to do, geometry on the fly. You have to, in your head
Right.
almost. Now, my girlfriend, I
Exactly.
love her dearly. If anyone has ever seen my writing or knows of my grammar, it is literally, my grammar is about the equivalent of her math. I mean, I love her dearly, but she is not good at math.
Right. Everybody has a
Um,
different skill set,
so yeah,
and they should
but here's the thing. Oh, go
foster
ahead.
this. I was just saying, everybody in the world has a different skill set.
Mhm.
And instead of trying to put everybody into a cookie cutter, foster the skills they have, and switch them over to real life applications instead of fucking punishing them
Yep.
because they're not a fucking straight A student when it comes to
Yeah.
geometry.
And
When
one
they
of the biggest
Yeah.
go ahead,
Sorry.
Go ahead,
Russ.
Russ.
And one of the biggest things, I've got 2 points and then I'm done. But one of the biggest things is the fact that the teachers, I mean, some of them can you get teachers that don't give a fuck about their job? Of course you do. You will always get those. That's in every single occupation. You'll get
Yeah,
someone who just does not give a
WKD.
fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But then you'll see these kids who are not learning it at the way that they should. And the teacher will see it. And the teacher will go up to them privately so that would not to embarrass them in front of everyone else. And they'll be like, "Are you having troubles grasping it? Because if so, I can you can come by after class, after school, and I will show you how it's done." And they do everything they can to make sure that
Yeah.
this kid is not being set up for failure just because he learns differently than others.
Yeah. Exactly. Uh, my one of my math teachers, Mr. Bernard, who was algebra 2 and up, he what he did is he had you, and of course every teacher does this, but I actually saw him use it on a note card. He had you write 5 of your big interests. This person loved sports. I mean, they were a football player, basketball player, baseball player. I mean, they were just, they loved sports. They were taking a stats class because they wanted to go to school for accounting. So they figured they'd take a stats class to prepare for it for when they have to actually take it at college. And this kid was struggling. I mean, I was in there working on some homework in Mr. Bernard's class, and he came in and helped. And I remember sitting there, and Mr. Bernard was helping him, and the kid wasn't understanding. He's like, "Okay, hold on, give me a second." He went over, pulled out the kid's note card, read through, and was like, "Oh, football, okay." And so he basically changed the equation to a football analogy, and then asked, "What would you do in this situation?" And showed him how to basically make it to something he can understand and relate to make it easier for him. And I'm like, and that's why Mr. Bernard was one of my favorite math teachers. He was really good at what he did.
And
And yeah.
can you get a few bad eggs? Of course you can.
Yeah.
You can get a few bad teachers. That's no problem. But there
yeah.
are teachers that absolutely care about these kids' futures and want them to have the best things going
Yeah.
for them. And to simply dismiss them is absolutely absurd.
Exactly. I know when I go to when I finish teaching, I want all my students to succeed. I did CAP. I was a flight sergeant in CAP. I want, kids. I wanted all my cadets to succeed. That was my goal. Even if I hated one, I have one that I absolutely hated, but I have a letter from them somewhere. I don't know where it is off the top of my head. I wish I did. That I got from them after they got to, I believe it was Paris Island, because they went into the Marine Corps. And they wrote me saying, "Hey, thanks for all you did for me. I realized I was an idiot, but you know what? Because of you, you helped me while I'm here. That is one of the proudest moments I have of CAP was when I received that letter. I mean, I want to help people succeed. I want to watch them succeed, and I want to be able to help them grow as human beings as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I want to teach. I want to help people.
And then the only other point I had was whenever you were talking about the ag class and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody who's actually watches anything I've been on and the interviews I've been on, the high school I went to was Santa Fe, Texas, high school, and this town is a very, very big agricultural town. We have farms and whatnot. Some of these kids, whereas you're waking up at, like, say, I don't know, maybe 6 o'clock to make sure you catch the bus on time and all that other good stuff, these kids were waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning because they have to go and feed the cows, feed the chickens, feed whatever, do all the morning chores of the farm before going to school. And then after they got out of school, they're going back to do the exact same thing. And then they do their homework when they have the time after chores are done. And so these are kids who are most likely going to take on the family business of the farm. And you need to have someone there to teach them the agricultural things on what's important for their life.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know about 80% of the people are probably about, maybe like 60 or 70%, but a good chunk of our students were farm kids. I mean, hell, pretty much when I was in high school, a good chunk of our entire, linebacking core and defensive line and offensive line and tight ends, they were all farm boys. They're the ones who go out and throw the hay, throw those bales of hay. And that, since they did all that during the summer, that was their summer conditioning. And it actually got to be a standing joke that, why don't the rest of the team do it? And actually, one summer, the coach said, all these people, it works for them. Why don't we try and, you guys go help them throw hay, go help them do farm work. And it made our team, the people who were doing football, it made them freaking tough. I mean, we were a tough team that year that they did that. And so yeah, it's just, everybody has different skill sets and you just got to find out what works. I mean, for me, I have a love of history and I love math and stuff like geometry, and hence why I did drafting originally. And then I decided to be a history teacher because I love history more than I love math, and I love drafting.
Read mediocrities.
I just did.
What does it say? I can't.
I like the way you think, CAP Brony. Not too sure I like your profile name.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, and as far as what people are good at, like, my girlfriend, she is one of the. Yeah.
Like when you're done, that'll be the last bit. So.
Okay. Yeah, my girlfriend, she's very kind, caring, and passionate. She wants to do social work. There's no way I could do what she does. I don't have that type of mindset to do it. So, like I said, it all varies on what you can do. So, yeah, that's all I was going to say.
That's all right. I was hoping to get in there before you started your next bit. I thought I'd caught a little opening. I didn't mean to talk over you.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Oh, go ahead.
We'll get into it.
Negative. Hold on, let me draw it first.
Can I take 25% for being unprepared? I mean, someone's got to be XC here, right?
Yep, no, you can do that. That's perfectly fine. You didn't say drink, so hashtag boot cap in the chat. I'm kidding.
I'm just glad XC isn't here because they'll probably criticize me for, stepping over my bounds and taking their role.
You're at negative 1,249%.
Oh my God, that's just.
I think he's a little butthurt on hitting 2,500.
always students who need help and come to me before school starts. So you need to just calm and take a breath. You're at 55%, by the way.
Not at my school. My algebra teacher has announced he refuses to stay late with students because he says we don't care about passing his class, which is what motivated me to make the video you are responding to. Okay?
Drink.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a problem here. Okay, so you have students that have who seem to not want to do work. So if they aren't concerned with passing, why should he be concerned with staying late so that way y'all can just still not pass his class? But not only that, but let's just say that he really does not care about your future. Okay, as I've said before, you get bad eggs. That doesn't mean all teachers are like that. And that's all I had.
Exactly, and on the flip side of that, if he doesn't want to stay late, if a student doesn't give a fuck and doesn't put any effort into it, why should the teacher? You know what I mean? Why should the teacher waste his time on someone that doesn't give a fuck? When he could spend that time more wisely on someone that actually does want the help and need the help.
I mean, exactly. That's one thing. I'll refer to Mr. Bernard here because he was, like I say, he was one of my favorite teachers. Is I slept through a lot of his classes, but here's the thing: he really, one of the things, the way you could do that was you had to show you knew the information, because with him, if he caught you sleeping or not paying attention or doing something else that wasn't taking notes or paying attention to the lecture, he would find the hardest problem in the chapter that was not on the book, or that was not on the homework, and he would write it on the board. You had to solve it. If you got it right, you could not pay attention as long as you weren't being disrupted, because his view on it was this: why should I waste my time that's valuable to me and the other students teaching you something you already understand and comprehend when I can use that time better to help out the other students who need my help?
That makes absolute sense.
My algebra teacher, whenever I was first going through high school, you see, before high school, I was homeschooled by my aunt, and so I already learned algebra. But because of the way the schooling system works, that's what I had to start off with in 9th grade. So we get to algebraic equations, and I'm just sitting there looking at the board as she's, trying to teach students how to do this. And she wrote a problem up on the board, and she looks at all of us and says, "Does anybody know the answer to this?" I looked at it, I raised my hand, and she had this look almost like, "Yeah, I doubt you do," but she was like, "Okay, come solve it." So I get up there, I looked at it again, and I said, "X equals this." And she stops for a second, and she's like, that's right.
Yeah.
Show your work. And so I sat there and I showed my work. And she's like, "Now tell them how you did that." And so I told them. And for a week straight after that, I was teaching the class how to do algebraic equations because she couldn't seem to dumb it down enough for the students at this school because they were all slackers. And so I was able to dumb it down for them to be able to understand it.
Yeah, I know a lot of I know with my math teachers, both Mr. Baxter and Mr. Bernard, I made them mad a lot of times. Half the time I never show my work because I'm one of those people that when I look at the math problem, I can literally see the numbers fall into place and I can just see it all in my head. So I very rarely showed work, or I showed very little of it, and they always got mad at me for it. But yeah, I was the same way. I just slept through. It got to the point where Mr. Bernard just stopped calling me out for not paying attention. He's like, they understand it. Just ignore them.
I still have memories of, gosh, it would have been grade 9 and 10 in my, I mean, I can go back to grade 3 when I was learning the grade 4 class, or, you know, like that sort of thing. But
Yeah.
I remember in grade 10, I have this just this one time where it was just a great laugh. Like, me and my math teacher had a pretty good relationship because I was the nerd in class, you know, so I'm just easy. Everyone will get along with me. All the teachers like me. And
Teacher's
but the
pet.
thing is, math used to be really my thing. Used to be. I must stress, because I really have lost all of my skills. But I remember this one time where we were working on something in the textbook, and I noticed, like, I finished my work, you know, ages. Like, we have a 45-minute class. I'll be finished in 10, 15 minutes. And so I just get to doodle and fuck around. But there's this one time I distinctly remember the teacher coming over and doing my marking early, as always. And I noted a thing that they got wrong. I was like, yo, no, look, you know, pointed out my work, because I don't always do work, but I actually, you know, did it out for her. And she's like, oh shit. Well, not, she didn't say that, but, you know, that kind of response. And she went over to her books, she looked at it, and she's like, the textbook's wrong. Or, like, her one was the answer. You know, I'm like, yeah, probably. And so she's just fixed it up before she put it up for the class. But I distinctly remember after that one, anytime that I would raise my hand, it wouldn't be to answer a question, because she kind of got sick of asking. You know,
it was
It was always, if I raised my hand, it would be, okay, come up. What are you going to show me? Like, it's either just before I put it up on the board, or I've just put it up on the board and I've only just noticed. And that's when I'll put my hand up, and she'll just be like, oh shit, you know, come over, show me what's wrong, you know, I'll fix it for me, and then I'll figure it out. And she was a smart, or probably is, I'm sure she's still around. It's just, don't know her anymore, but damn, she was a smart girl too.
Yeah.
When I was homeschooled and it came to algebraic equations, it was funny because I just could not get enough of them. I loved algebraic equations. Yeah. And so my aunt, who was teaching us, she was wondering why I wasn't paying attention and I wasn't doing the homework that we needed. And I was like, because I'm done it already. Yep. And for about a good week or two, no, I think I had like almost a month's worth of homework, because she did it straight out of the book. You know, this is your homework. These equations are in this book. And so for like a good month, I had the homework done for the entire month.
Yeah.
I was
for
like
that class
a week, because we'd get it each week, and I public schooled, but so each week you'd get your weekly homework, and I would just have it nailed before I even got home. The day I got it, I would just scribble it down in my lunch break or something, you know, like I'd have it done, and that way I had all free time in the world. The only thing that held me up were like big assessments that you just had to keep working on constantly. You couldn't just bang out, you know.
Yeah, and it was like what you were talking about, Russ, with the teaching, the being, or what you guys were saying about how teachers got tired of you answering questions. NotJah, when you said that, made me think to Mr. Baxter, because he would go, does anybody else besides CAP, I don't want to get my real name, besides CAP and another girl in my class, know the answer to this? Because we were always the ones who answered. And he would ask someone else before he would ask me, because they're like, yeah, we know you. I actually had to laugh one time with Mr. Baxter. He was doing a problem. There was a lot of steps I had to show, and so he showed every step so you knew. It was like, you know what? I'm taking a page out of Cap's book and I'm skipping some steps.
Nice.
Or I'm combining steps together. And I just was sitting there laughing. I'm like, did I just start that?
Yeah, but whenever I was teaching the class for that week, it was crazy, because I was like, how do they not know this? This is easy. And so I had to explain to them, all right, look, this is how you're going to simplify this. This is how you have, whatever you do to this side, you have to do to the other side. And I was explaining to them this, and it was like, in my head, I was like, how do people not understand this? Like, this is like easy.
Question.
Yeah,
Do we still have Molly?
Yeah, do we still have Molly?
You still around, mate? I mean,
Did Molly go back to sleep?
Yeah,
I think
so I'm
Paul
not
did.
sure.
I didn't
I-
fall asleep.
Okay.
I was about to
He
say I was going to leave
lives!
you around.
Paul
Calm
lives!
down. I didn't fall asleep. I was just thinking.
You're right, dude. That's
but-
cool.
I was just
Just
thinking.
I hadn't heard your sexy voice in a while. That's all.
Yeah,
Missed
No,
it.
I was
like,
just thinking.
it's sorry, Mo. Go ahead.
No,
that was-
you're all right. Go ahead. I was just listening.
Okay, yeah, I was going to basically say, you know, I know earlier last year, my girlfriend's sister, she's still in high school, and I think she was a sophomore. I think she's a junior now. Was a sophomore last year, and what it was is she was doing math homework and she was struggling with it, and you know, my girlfriend's like, I don't know, like, I don't do math, and she's like, here, talk to Cap. And so I walked her through it. I mean, and this is how it still just works for me. Is I looked at the problem, like, here, send me a picture of the problem, so I can actually look at what you're doing. And I'm like, now, which ones are you having trouble with? She's like, well, this. And I look at it, I go, okay. And I knew what the answer was upon looking at it. It was that, because like I said, I mean, the numbers just fall into place. And I'm like, okay, here's how you do it. And then I walked her through how to do it. I'm like, you want me to check your answers on your other work? She's like, yeah, sure. And I said, all right, 2, 4, and like 5 or whatever. We were just throwing random numbers out there are wrong. And I said, go fix them. And, you know, she got an A on that assignment. So I was able to help her out. That's just, math is fun though, to me.
I got a question. All right, do you guys think? Yeah, do you think that like, you know, some people aren't good at math, some people aren't good at English, whatever. Do you think it's just they're just literally not cut out for that subject, and they're forced to follow a curriculum? And
in a way,
I would say, yeah, in a way, because it really is. If you look at the people who's like really good at math, it's, I know it's not exactly accurate, but there are like, I think there's been studies where it's shown like somewhat of a correlation between those that are like really excel at the math at the high math levels, such as calculus, physics, you know, trigonometry, things like that, usually tend to not do as well as in English.
There are
Whereas
correlates.
those really good in English, it tends to be because English is more creative, whereas math is more analytical.
Yeah.
And the two sides just don't work.
There are a great number of exemptions to that rule. It's only a correlate, and
yeah, that's why I wasn't saying it was accurate, but there was a slight correlation.
And my second part to that question is: do you think that they don't tailor make studies for children because it would be too expensive to tailor make the studies for
and that's why I think in high school, and that's why I said, you know, in high school it should really change to where it's more individualized, because I know I always struggled like
be more like Europe, you know, like if you're I mean, if you're not cut out to fucking go on to higher education and become a physicist or a fucking chemist or whatever, but you're cut out to be a mechanic or fucking someone that paints houses, then so be it. Some people just aren't cut out to be certain things.
Yeah. In college, I've said this before and I stand by it, college is not for everyone. No, not everyone should go to college, which is where our minds get screwed up, is that, oh, you need to go to college for all these really good jobs. No, you can learn trades. There's OJT that you should learn.
Right. As far as I know people that have never been to college and they work blue collar jobs, and they own their own fucking business. They make like $50-$60 an hour, dude. So schooling doesn't equate paychecks.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what is it? 2-year degree. There was I saw a thing somewhere, like a study that actually it said, like the headline of the article was something like, I'll see if I can find it later. It was something like, why go 2 years? Was like the name of the article, and it showed where people who went to trade schools, such as went for like drafting or whatever, welding, whatever, they actually came out with higher paying jobs than those that went to a 4-year university on average. And it's like, or they had less debt but got almost equally paying jobs. Might have been a little less, but you had like a quarter of the debt.
Yeah, there were highly skilled jobs, and they pay very, very well.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna let you guys carry the conversation for a minute or so. I'm just gonna run away. Won't be too long.
Okay.
Don't run away. Walk. You can get hurt
And
if you
it's
run.
like I actually know someone who's never been to college, but they make like $20+ an hour.
Right.
They're a trucker.
That's what I'm saying.
They're a
there's
cross-country
jobs out
trucker.
there that are fucking like. You know how much an underwater welder makes, dude?
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
They make like $150, $200 an hour. It's dangerous, but they make fucking good money.
And that's
you know?
and that's
Fun
why
fact.
it pays so high, because it is so dangerous. Usually the more dangerous the job, the higher the pay, because they want to entice people to come do the job.
Fun fact. I when I was in the Army, I was originally going to be a diver, and one of the equivalents on the civilian side was being an underwater welder.
Yeah, there's there's a lot of jobs out there that and that's the thing when people say, "Oh, well, no one wants to take these jobs," because no one's being trained for them. Half the people don't know they're out there. Like, honestly, we have drafting classes in my high school, but I never really pay much attention. I'm like, well, it's drafting.
Right.
And I didn't really know much on it. Even though my dad did it, I never really knew much of what they did. It wasn't until I actually got to college and it was one of the considerations I had. But yeah, there is so much that are out there that just nobody knows exists because nobody talks on it. It really is. I mean, grade schools are.
And on the flip side of that, also, how many kids do you think in high school take general classes just out of laziness when they could easily take college level classes like college lit?
Oh yeah.
Well,
I'm
a
guilty
lot
of
of
that
that.
myself. I took basic classes because I wanted to dick around in school. I didn't want to study, but I could have easily took college lit.
I would have taken a dual credit. Well, see, that's the thing that was different than us. It didn't matter which one you were in. If you were doing a dual credit class, you got the same equivalency as what the high school was getting. It's just you were paying a college credit. And I would have done it with physics and history, but my parents didn't want to pay for that because they knew my work ethic of, I'll do enough to get a C. And they're like, we're not going to pay you to basically not do the work. If we pay for it, you're going to do the work. I said, well, then don't pay for it.
Right.
See, I knew I was a lazy bum. I knew that.
And then you have these people who, before going to school, they didn't get challenged. And take for instance, my fiance has a son, and he is 12 years old. And whenever he was younger, he was not doing the homework or not doing the work for class, and but he was still getting great, phenomenal grades and
on tests.
Yeah, and so they tested him, and they were like, he needs to be in AP classes. And she was like, what? And he was like, yeah, he's not being challenged, and that's why he's not paying attention during class.
Right.
And so when he got put in AP classes, he makes straight A's.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I mean, and that was another one with me of why I didn't do it is I got bored. I'm like, I know this. Why do I have to do this? Because I actually had I was in geometry and my instructor decided to test because I told him I told Mr. Baxter, I said, if you challenge me, I will do the work. I get bored. And if he asks, why don't you do it? I said, I'm bored. It's too easy. And so he actually gave me a different assignment from the other students. He would do his lecture and then he would come and teach me. Because what he did was he had me do college algebra work. And you want to know what? I did all the college algebra work. I didn't get bored with it because it challenged me. And he's like, yeah. And so I even had a separate. Oh, well, thanks, Don. I love you too.
What did Don say?
Cap is talking, so I'm bored. I love you too,
but
Don.
He never. You're his regular level math.
Yeah, and it was like I said, I got bored easily, and I would do like 5 minutes of work, then I was bored because I'm like, this is simple, and I ace every math test. When I actually had to try for the college algebra, I actually did the work, and I actually was challenged. Yeah. It was nice to actually be challenged.
With me, my problem was, it wasn't the fact that I didn't have the knowledge to be able to understand it. It wasn't the fact that I was bored with it. It's the fact that I didn't want to do the work. And because I didn't want to do the work, I barely got out of high school. I got out of it by the skin of my teeth just because I didn't like the classroom setting. I didn't like learning in there. And so I just wouldn't pay attention.
Yeah. I mean, I was the same way, except I didn't do the work because I was just completely bored by it because it was easy. The only class I actually ever had to try and work hard in was English.
Oh, that was one of the ones that came easy with me. If I wasn't 100, I was in the high 90s.
I was lucky to get a B. I usually got C's in that class, and that's just because, I suck at English. When it came to reading and comprehension, I was really, really, really good. I mean, I remember I had a teacher who didn't believe me and actually started questioning me about the book, even on like minor details, that like you couldn't have gotten from watching a movie. Because I claimed that I read Treasure Island over the summer before first grade. And so, from there, I was, she's like, all right, I don't believe you because name a first grader that usually would read Treasure Island before first grade. Yeah.
And those who are reading up first grade are usually the picture books that, look at Clifford, the big red dog.
Yeah, and she's like, I don't believe you. And I'm like, I did. I mean, I can have my mom come down here and vouch for me. I read it. She sat there and watched me. And so she started asking me questions. And after, I think I missed one question. And she asked me like 15 questions or so. And a lot of them were like smaller details. She's like, okay, I believe you read this. Because the way it came up was I wanted to read, I don't remember what it was, but I wanted to read a book, and she said, no, it's beyond my reading level. I said, no. And she's like, all right, well, why do you say that? I go, well, I read Treasure Island. And she's like, okay, and she didn't believe me. That year, we had to memorize a poem. Everybody else had like an easy poem that they picked. Nope, mine was El Dorado by Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh.
I wanted to do The Raven, but that was too long to memorize for the short time we had.
I see something has started in the chat.
What's that? What got started in the chat?
It's not really getting started. It's not going far.
Yeah, but not your back.
What was that?
You can.
I'm back.
One last thing I wanted to say before we take off with the other stuff. It was funny because during English, whenever we were reading the Shakespearean plays, while everyone else was reading the straight New Age English, I read the Shakespearean English the entire time.
Yep. We only had that, and like I said, it was the first one I read through in high school was A Midsummer Night's Dream. And I was sitting there reading the actual, the way it was written. And I remember there were a few times I got yelled at because I was sitting there laughing, and they're like, "What's so funny?" And I read it exactly as written, and they're like, "What?" I go, and I read it again, like, "Don't you understand what they're saying?" And they go, why is this so? And I said, "It's simple. She just fell in love with a donkey. Like, do you not understand English?" And people were just like, "Oh."
Nice one. Donkey
So,
fucking.
yeah.
Oh, we down in Mexico, they call it a donkey show.
Well, that's what happened with Puck, and that's why Puck is awesome, and he's my favorite. You don't screw with Puck.
So, we ready?
What did I miss? I just came back, and the first thing I heard was Donkey Show. That's weird.
Yeah.
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Once you give the stream to Cap and Russ, it gets bad.
I'm awake this time.
We get terrible.
Okay.
So, yeah, Don,
All right.
Molly's awake.
Yeah.
I was worried about that before, too.
No, he said he had
I'm
to step
awake.
away.
I just woke up. I just went to get some coffee.
No problemo. We're going to get back into it, though. You ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for giving me a source as to what teacher you're talking about. But for the record, a teacher does not have to come in early or stay late. Now, I will fully criticize your math teacher.
What?
I was just saying, when he said a teacher doesn't have to come in early or stay late, I said bullshit.
Okay.
That is
That
true.
was the.
A teacher, if a teacher is completing what he needs to complete just by getting there right at the last minute and leaving right when everybody else leaves, then he's obviously not the greatest teacher in the world.
Yeah, but as it's written, technically they don't have to. They do to get the work done, but they don't have
they
to.
don't have to,
by law. I think is what they're saying.
Oh, by
I think
law,
what they're pointing out. Because remember he said, oh, my teacher said that they aren't staying late anymore. And so I think they were just saying, well, they technically do not have to stay. Now, in order to get your work done, yeah, you got to get in at like 7 a.m. and you ain't leaving till 5. I've that's just how it is.
And need I remind you that this is JC and NotJah who said that, not
XC.
XC, whatever he is.
Yeah. Oh God! I hope XC does not see this. That's gonna go to their head. They're Jesus Christ!
Fuck you, Russ. Nobody likes you anyway. Like and subscribe.
It's
that was a bit funny.
Yeah, I think that's the point that they were making, Mole, is that basically, a teacher by law and everything does not technically have to stay late or come in early for the student. I think is the point they were making. So because of what Guyman said, they were saying that in response where he said, the teacher said, oh, well, I'm not coming in early. I'm not staying late anymore.
All right, fair enough.
So I think that's what they were going for. But for a teacher, no, I agree with you. There's no way you can be a teacher and not come in early and stay late.
Or at least do extra work out of the time allotted for being in school.
I have a few teacher friends, and trust me, they work. I mean, they have to take.
Yeah.
Even
if they want to have good plans made out ahead of time, anyway.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know about anywhere else. But whenever I was in high school, the teachers actually had certain days where they said that we're staying back for anybody who needs the extra help.
Yeah.
I've had that.
Yeah, I mean, how was it? A friend of mine who's a teacher, I said, so what are your plans for summer break? Because I knew school was getting out, and I was wondering if they were going to come up to where I'm at and visit. And they're like, summer break. What is this strange phrase you speak of? Teachers don't get a summer break. They work basically without pay. I mean, so if he really wants to go the slavery route that he's brought up, how about the teachers? They work over the summer planning stuff for their students, getting everything figured out, and they don't even get paid over the summer unless they're teaching summer school.
Not necessarily, because as a matter of fact, one of the other people who board at the boarding facility that that our horse is at, she's a teacher, and we were talking about something about jobs.
Boarding this teacher person you know is boarding at the same places as your horse. You let them
Yes,
in
because
your stable. Why
she
are they
has
sleeping
horses
in the
too.
stable?
She has horses too, NotJah.
Oh, I thought you meant she boarded there, like she's.
That's literally what I thought as well.
Well, it's because y'all don't understand it. But
You
anyway,
don't live with horses, motherfucker.
You don't
I
speak
come from the
Texan.
outback.
Yeah, you have kangaroos.
Gotcha, or Russ, don't be a naysayer when it comes to these horse jokes.
Did
Look,
I just
Cap.
hear the Brony go nay? I am so gonna
did.
get a fucking
Oh,
capture
shoot.
of that audio.
Oh God!
That-
Why are you gonna capture that? That's
Oh
no.
my
There's
lord! If only you were on camera when you did that. Oh,
I am glad I'm not on camera.
I'm waiting for next time we're in a
Yeah,
DM and
I wish I could screen capture that too. That'd go in the roast for sure. The nay saying, the funny thing.
NotJah,
Molly,
no,
Molly,
that clip is not going.
Get
I
onto me,
forbid it.
Molly, get onto me. Even just
I will.
capture it yourself, motherfucker. I'm sure you know you're a smart man. You know, like there's
Nah,
gonna be a screen
okay.
live.
Okay, y'all just went off. So
It's
let me finish what I was
Between
saying.
2 and 3 hours somewhere there. And go, Russ.
What I was saying was, she's a teacher, and we were talking about having to go to work in the morning, and she was like, "I don't have to go back to work until August." So not all teachers have to work during the summer.
Well, they would still
I don't
like
think
probably do
it's-
plannings in that, but
it's
the thing on that also is, I know some teachers that they actually get less pay during the school year because they have money withheld for the summer. So that way they can actually have an income during the summer. And then they usually end up having to work a summer job just to even make things work. So
Have you ever
her
tried,
husband also works out in the plants.
Has anybody ever drawn unemployment? It's hard to live on unemployment, dude. You get fucking shit.
Yeah, and
depending on that
how
all
much you
depends
make.
on.
Yeah, I know how much. It depends on how much you make, but you still only get a percentage of that. If you're used to, I mean, teachers aren't exactly paid fucking top dollar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they live.
Maybe MIT professors or Harvard professors, but not regular teachers.
Yeah, just I mean the people I know who are teachers, they barely can make ends meet, and a lot of times they end up having to work. I know actually during the school year they work 2 jobs because they have teaching and then they have like an afternoon part-time job that they do.
Yeah.
Because they can't afford to live on just a teacher salary.
Right. It's a labor of love. It's not a job you're going to expect to become a millionaire.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, if you're going into being a teacher for the money, how did Fred put it? Yeah, you ain't lasting more than 2 hours.
Do teachers get paid for say a teacher's also a football coach? Do they get a little extra for doing that?
Yeah, because what you do is when you become a coach, you actually sign a contract with the school to be a coach, and that gets you.
About that.
It's like you get. I think it's like $100 a game. That's what you get.
Okay,
I think it's what a friend of mine gets for coaching football. So it's basically like an extra $100 a week.
Okay, because it's not uncommon locally where I live for a teacher to also drive a bus or to be a football coach or to be a drama coach or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if drama gets paid extra, but I do know that like a sports coach does, because I do know a teacher and football coach, and they do sign a contract to be a coach, and that gets them X amount.
Boys and bronies, we are being authorized by the chat to move on.
All right.
Okay, let's go.
Oh wow, I love the cooperation there, everyone. That was actually quite that. I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
That is what they said. No class should suffer for the actions of a few. But I can understand your teacher's frustration. Oddly enough, no point deductions on this point, as it is just you think it should be one way, and well, it's not your way.
Thank you for acknowledging and addressing the corruptness in our public schools. For that, I'm giving you back the 110% that I took.
What corruption in the public schools? Teachers doing their jobs?
that line, I did not expect him to say that line, even when I first. I just.
I'm trying to figure out what the. I mean, what teachers doing their jobs? Well, yeah, they're going to do their jobs because that's what they're paid to do, and they don't even really get paid to do that.
In other news, water is wet.
Wait, is water wet? You know, there is a debate going on about that. Or are triangles even real? I actually watched a pretty interesting debate on that one. Movie on movie night.
In other news, you're just talking over Molly. Did Molly have anything?
Molly's muted. No one cares.
No, I agree. I don't think there's any corruption in school.
Yeah.
Just always want to make sure, because look, I just want to point this out that we get to Cap, Russ, and it goes back to Cap. No offense, but you will drag it back to yourself, Cap. You got to let at least Molly, if you don't want to throw in your 2 cents, just be like, no, we're good or something. Otherwise,
and if you keep doing that, Cap, if you keep doing it, Cap, we'll have to hashtag boot Cap.
We will hashtag boot Cap.
I was just replying to what Russ said.
I will bring back my timer.
No, like I said, I was just responding with what. Yeah, I know, and I only got about another half hour anyway.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to keep it well paced. I don't want us to get dragged down with the chats.
Yeah.
Moving on.
As Sidestrike would say, moving on.
Off for covering up the atrocities of teachers. So you're back at negative 1,139%. It's still not.
That's the most horrendous costume.
He actually gave me points back.
Yeah. So he's not watching the videos before he's debunking them.
Yeah.
No,
because
I don't know what
if he did, he would have known what it was. I mean, rule number 1: you don't do something like this where it's a blind react.
I still want to know what these.
Always do a blind reaction. Sorry, Molly.
No, I wonder where he came up with these non-existent points. What do they even fucking mean?
Okay, it started
on our stuff, but not doing a good job.
Yeah, like XE, whenever they grade it like they would any other, assignment that was put in front of them. They go through, and each time they mess up, they mark points off. So they're doing it like an actual grading assignment. And he's trying to recreate that, but do it horribly and failing at it.
Okay, gotcha.
Because XE has you make an unsubstantiated claim, that's 10%. You make a false or inaccurate statement, that's like 5 or 10%. You completely screw a source up, that's like 20%, I think. I mean, they have I'm trying to remember. NotJah read more of them than I've just watched them, so he might be able to tell you better on what their grading system seems to be. But they have like a set thing of like where you mess up, it's so much off, and then they explain why it doesn't work.
Keep repeating the same one; it's been added exponentially.
Yeah,
so, I think that's when he does the argument from incredulity.
Yeah, which was because he kept saying, he kept using it through the video. Yeah, he kept using it through the video, so I think they said that he's like, yeah, you use it so much. I'm trying to remember the very beginning of the video when he talked on it.
It's actually what was it? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Damn it, XE, where are you?
Yeah, no joke. Come on, get in here and tell us why you do whatever. Although knowing them, they're either busy or asleep. Probably busy because it is whatever time there.
Where's the bird?
Don, I will say this. I would give you the bird, except I don't know if that's allowed on NotJah's channel.
No, yeah.
There's the bird, Don. There's the bird.
Cap, that would mean, of course, you would have to go on camera.
And that's why it's not happening.
Damn it.
If you go on camera, we're gonna have to hear you say, "Nay."
Okay.
Did you disagree with it? Go on. Wait.
There, Don. There's your bird.
We were all on camera yesterday, Cap. Believe it or not, every one of us.
Yeah.
I don't
Who's
think
every one of us? Oh yeah.
You were.
Oh yeah, you were there, Ross.
I was.
Yeah, I was there. We were not on stream, but I was there.
No, but we were on camera though, which is odd. That's unusual.
I wasn't. I left that live stream early. Remember, they booted me for quoting Shakespeare.
They didn't boot you for quoting Shakespeare. You were leaving anyway, and you just did it to be a jerk.
Yeah, that too.
What was it? Something from Polonius? Were you talking?
No, it was something I made up. I said, since darkness has descended upon thy land, I must take my leave, for with the dawn I wake.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was just something I made up off the top of my head.
You know what? Boot cap.
Come on. He asked for what it was, and I told him.
Okay. You could have just said it's something I made up.
But it was a good line, though. Yeah, let's get on with the idiot.
But it's higher than it was.
Back to Dick Nose.
Don't you dare ask us why we don't care about your class just because you are too lazy to give us actual grades.
Okay, the nice XC lover is gone, and now you get the big bad mean XC lover. We'll be a little harsher. You got me grading this part after a long day at school, and you calling teachers lazy? That just crossed the line.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be making a response video after a long day at school. Go to bed, get some rest, or at least a cup of coffee. You'll be good to go the next day. Alright? Okay. The screencast-o-matic still only records up to 15 minutes, and we're at 14 minutes and 30 seconds, so we're gonna have to make a part 2.
Okay, you don't even get to dictate what I can do with my time. You clearly don't understand that this is the only time I get to write my breakdowns. So no, I write them when I can. So 10% for presenting wrong or inaccurate information. You're trying to make it seem like I have all the time in the world to write these.
5% for false and inaccurate information. Your school has a break room / teacher's lounge, and you also have a break to eat lunch and dinner.
Drink.
You have plenty.
Bullshit.
They may have a period to be able to go there.
Yeah. And I don't know if XC ever touched on this. I think they might have. But I know my high school did not have a teacher's lounge. I'm sure there are probably other high schools and schools out there that don't.
I don't
mean,
think
the teacher's
mine
lounge was.
I'm pretty. Yeah, our high school did have a lounge.
Yeah. So yeah,
I don't think it was anything fancy though. It was just a fucking room with a refrigerator and a fucking chair or a table and chairs.
Yeah.
No. It's like the Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
You went in there. They had an open bar. You know, it was wonderful in their stripper pole.
There's some teachers out there that aren't bad looking.
Not when I was in school. I'd like to know where all these sexy, hot teachers were when I was in school.
There were
I know.
teachers that a couple of the students at my high school had a crush on.
Yeah, but you're a pony.
See, but you know what? No one ever denies the pony. Everybody.
I would deny the pony.
Well, fuck you, Russ. No one cares about you. All right,
I've
no one
never wanted
important.
a relationship with a pony.
Like I said, no one important would deny the pony.
Well,
Love
I
you,
think
haven't
dog.
everybody important would.
That's debatable.
Yeah, so it's but yeah, I mean, just our school never had that. So what the hell are you talking about? And like I said, and apparently Russ's didn't, and quite a few other schools I'm sure don't. So no, teachers don't. And guess what? If you want to complain about work and that they don't have time, guess what, Guyman? You get the same breaks that the teachers do.
And the breaks that.
Oh, go ahead,
Mark.
Russ. I was just saying, even if teachers do have a lounge, they don't deserve a break room, just like any other job in the world.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but like I said, that they may have every now and again an off period where they don't have a class, but that time does not necessarily mean that they're in the break room. They were probably going to be in their classroom with the door shut, so that way no one just pops in and wants to talk or whatever, and just doing their work.
Yep, planning periods.
Yep, right.
And that's them writing their lectures, planning their lectures, figuring out what they're going to talk about.
Not killing high school students, that kind of thing.
I know my biology teacher in his planning period because I went in there to get because it was off time and I knew it was going to be because after a test I went in to get some help with some biology homework that I had because usually with that class you'd had a test and then it was just free time afterwards. So it was during his planning period. I asked him, "Can I get signed to go to your class after my test?" And he said, "Yeah, sure. What do you need help with?" And I told him, he's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll help you." And I went in there and he helped me. And as I went in, he had his computer up because his computer faced the door. And I saw he was reading technical papers. I said, "Oh, is that for future class?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm looking up some articles for this part of biology that we were studying. I don't remember what it was." So he spent his time doing research so he could be a better teacher and have the most up-to-date information.
Hey, I'm sorry, I don't mean to change the topic, but I was just behind a van that said Jesus saves.
And then it goes and whizzes up the road and crashes.
Yeah, yet people die all the time in car crashes, but Jesus saves them.
Run them off the road. Run them off the road and yell out the window. Hey, did Jesus save you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're dead. I'm sorry.
Damn it. Jesus didn't save you.
Jesus saves. It's just saving your money that you donate to the church. That's all.
Yeah.
Look,
Jesus
all I'm
saves.
saying is that.
What is he saving you?
Hey,
look, all I'm saying is. Look, all I'm saying is that Jesus does save. I mean, he goes over there and mows my yard all the time. He's got to save that money.
Right. Jesus saves.
Yeah.
Sends money back to Mexico.
Let's finish it. Since we are almost done with this, it looks like let's finish up the stupidity.
All right.
Because we gotta be close.
Of time to write responses or text or go to the movies or whatever you want to do on your break time.
Great. You think teachers have time in their break or play period to go to the movies?
Let's
or
see
they
here.
have
This
time
class
at all to go to the movies during school?
Let's see.
You're an idiot.
Let's see. This class starts in another. My next class starts in another hour. The movie theater's about 10 minutes away. I can make that.
Yeah. Just oh god, that's Guyman does not know anything of what he talks about. Oh god.
All right, let's get back to it.
Yeah, that's just that comment though was idiotic. That's all I'll say. NotJah? Did we kill him?
Is he sleeping? He fell asleep.
We killed NotJah. We killed NotJah.
Okay, well then I will fill the time with "Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal."
Great. Peter's in here.
Peter. Hello, Peter.
NotJah, what the hell did you get me into?
Peter.
The very tail end of Dr. Guyman. But NotJah, I think we killed him.
No, we didn't kill him. He just fell asleep.
The very end of Dr. Guyman?
Yeah, we're watching a Dr. Guyman video. And responding to it.
See,
And we're doing a live response.
I was working. So,
NotJah, you there?
Yeah, I know. I had to run away, grab beer.
You scared us. We thought Dr. Guyman's stupidity killed you.
Yeah, or Cap lulled you to sleep with his dulcet tones.
One or the other. It's very plausible, so understandable.
Yeah.
Whose hangout is this?
The my one.
NotJah's.
Oh, okay.
We're not far off. We're not far off being able to have some more ridiculous fun. For now, we're trying to just get through the video.
And it's almost done.
Okay. So because I just DM'd you on Twitter because I had something to show you.
Oh, sweet. Well, I saw you say still about, mate, but
yeah,
you didn't say anything more after that. So
do you want me to show it here, or do you want me to show it in private?
Not if it's what I think you're going to show. No. Keep that
Peter, I don't want to know what you show in private.
I want to. Okay. I don't. You know. Yeah. If it's what I think it is, that's not.
It's what we talked about that I was about to make.
Yes, but that's not. This is clearly not the right place for that.
Oh, hold on. I forgot. Yeah, you want to keep those things separate.
Damn, you're a slow motherfucker when you want to be, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, hey, I was up all night. Who else was up all night?
Well, I mean,
Cap.
I mean, you're talking about being slow. I mean, you would be slow if you've been dead since since 1955. I mean, he has a picture of Einstein, so I mean, he must be dead. So you'd be slow too if that was the case.
Hey, for someone who looks like Einstein, I still create some awesome stuff. NotJah, go have a look at your DMs on Twitter, and tell me what you think.
Let's finish up.
Guyman. Let's finish up Guyman. I only got so much longer that I can be here.
Yeah, I love that. We will get on. We'll get back to that if that's all right, Peter. Because I do like that though. That's cool. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I wanted a response so I can get on with my work actually, but
no, that's good. If you wanted to bust out, do your thing, that's fine. I love where that's going though. I can see what you're doing with it, and that's really cool.
So, do you like it?
I do. I do.
Okay. I'll use that.
Sick.
And now we broke Don because Don is now going to figure out for the next 2 weeks what we were talking about because he needs to know what we were talking about.
Peter. Love you, Peter.
And we're not going to tell Don what I made and what it's for.
Nadine's here too. Oh my God.
Hey, Nadine.
Nadine, I'll invite you in half a second. We're just going to finish the video and then I'll have you back. I'll have you in. So are you hanging around, Peter, or are you going?
I can work and have fun at the same time.
Oh, I love your attitude, mate. That's awesome.
I mean, I think you saw that during Godless Iwan stream. I can make videos while I'm talking.
Okay. So we're gonna get into it because I think we all want to just finish this now. Yeah. when I do this, I got to disappear. You know how many cans work.
Teachers get breaks whether you want to admit it or not. So now you're at negative 1,144%.
Oh shit! You lost 5 points.
Also, I don't drink coffee. I'm allergic to coffee beans.
Okay, so then I recommend Pepsi as an alternative to coffee. The cranky old lady downstairs drinks Pepsi instead of coffee and gets the same caffeinated effect.
That is absolutely not true.
Okay. You have to deduct points for that. If you don't drink real, don't drink anything else, then go to water, but not go to Pepsi.
Right.
Yeah, it's that's you don't get the same caffeine effect. Coffee has more caffeine than that does.
Yes.
If you want a pop to get the closest to the same caffeine effect as coffee, that would be Mountain Dew.
Or remember Jolt Cola?
Or for people from the real world, Red Bull.
Oh yeah, there you go. Or Monsters.
Hey, Red Bull, it's not that bad, but by real world, do you mean Midwest, right?
By real world, I mean the Western world, not the third world countries where religion still prevails. You know.
Yeah, the U.S. is more like a third world country.
Hey,
hey.
Cap Brony, Cap Brony. If you're going against on Raw, you've got a problem.
Who's going against Aaron? I won't go against him.
Because Aaron said in the Hangout with Godless Iowan that you were officially now a third world country.
Oh, I did not hear that.
America, I didn't either.
Later.
I did.
We always hear about first world countries and third world countries. What exactly would a second world country be?
Well, I have always asked that too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me look it up.
It'd be developing.
Yeah.
Like undeveloped, developing, developed.
Like China, maybe, like halfway in between. Like they have some third world aspects, but they also
you missed an awful lot, Unholy Mole. According to Aaron Ra, China is the world leader at this moment.
Yeah.
I didn't catch all of the. I didn't catch all the Aaron. I mean, I caught the after show, but I didn't get to catch the whole.
I caught part of the after show.
China overtook the U.S. in being a world leader.
Fiscally, you mean?
In every aspect.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
China is considered second world.
When it comes to technology, China is ahead of the U.S.
The second world is the former industrial socialist states.
So that would be like Russia?
Yeah, Russia, China.
Yeah, so that means we're not actually
China, North Korea, Cuba, Laos, Vietnam, and Russia.
Which is former. So second world points to something that isn't anymore, as in former.
Former industrial socialist states.
Yeah.
So they're former industrial.
That's what
socialist states. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're former industrial socialist states. So what are they now?
No. So they're socialist states. That's the current. They are former industrial socialist states.
Yes.
You see how the wording works? So the first part is what they were. The second part is what they are.
Yeah.
So they could be extremist socialist. Yeah.
They used to be industrial socialist states. They are now considered second world.
So it is both into the set. But what then?
So hold on, Don. You Googled the definition of second world, and you're saying that they used to be something else, and they're now second world, and that's the definition of second world. That's
why I thought. Can you send me the definition there, or the link, or is it just Google and?
Do we want to finish up Guyman?
Good point. Let's just quickly before you
let's
come
finish him up because we should be pretty much done.
610%. So that's where we'll pick it up with part 2.
Why does he have a dick nose?
610%.
And we're ending this video with your score at a whopping negative 1,144% out of 100. Let's give him a round of applause, shall we?
What the hell? You don't even know what the hell you're talking about half the time when you do this. So yeah.
All I have to say is that it was a whopping negative 1,144%.
Out of 100.
Out of 100 is percent.
Out of 100.
Yeah,
Because
you got to say out of 100 because percent's not 100, right?
Yeah, percent means out of 100. So it's out of 100, out of 100. That's 1,000.
Yeah, there's a bit of redundancy there.
Yeah. So yeah, what he ended up hitting what total like negative 2,500 or something like that, NotJah, didn't he?
2705, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
1705. I don't know. It was pretty fucking.
Either way, it's just.
No, he got into the 2000s. I thought.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. 2,500, negative 2,500.
I can't remember. Yeah.
Is that out of 100?
Yes, that's
out of 100.
Yeah.
I need more coffee.
All right, so
coffee, nectar of the gods.
For the main part of the show, that was pretty much that. So we're not calling it a wraps, but we're calling it a wraps on that part of the stream. So if anyone was only here for Guyman, you should fuck off now. Otherwise, we'll start the after show. This is where we start. Basically, it's where it goes from being a nice family show to being whatever the fuck we want. And
a shit show.
Now,
a lot of people like to call it the after show. I like to call it the after party because this is the party that happens after the show.
Oh, you just want to be like me.
No, you have rules. You have rules.
Do I?
Yeah, I recall them very sincerely.
Rules?
There was.
I've heard of these rules things.
But that's actually more to clarify for Peter because he has a confusion with what an after show should be, and my definition is an after party, which is that it happens after the show. So some say after show, but it's the party that happens after the show. So
yeah, okay, but an after show is what is considered to be a stream where people review the show they just watched. That's an after
says show. Who says who, Peter? Take the word for its literal sense.
It says me. It says me, and since I have two rules, NotJah. Rule one is
adding Nadine.
Rule one is I'm always correct. Rule two is if I'm not correct, automatically make a rule one the prevalent rule.
And well, you see, the thing is I'm still having an issue with what this thing called rule is. Is that what I normally break?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, but see, if I that's why I added in rule number 2.
Yeah.
I still find a way to break it.
Yeah.
So what do we want to party about?
So you got a fresh Pepsi
with the Guyman video?
Well, yeah, see if Peter likes to talk about the video we've just done. So go on, Peter, talk about Guyman. Tell me what you think.
Tell me what I think. Okay, so I think Guyman.
Guyman,
Peter. Guyman is actually Cap, this isn't
We're doing a
movie
teaching
night.
video. We're doing
Yeah.
a teaching video, and your fucking grammar, or it was just what the fuck,
That was
you know,
bad
tell you,
grammar.
like what the
Oh God! I
He's
should not be
from
the one to correct you on
Dutchland.
grammar, Peter, because mine's shit. But tell me what I think. I think you meant I'll tell you what I think. Not I'll tell me what I think. That was you botched that one bad.
As did you.
Oh, hey, I never want to claim, I have great grammar, so if someone wants to call me out on it, I won't.
Cap,
Neither does.
Cap, can I remind you that after just one single day you managed to fall asleep on movie night, whereas I am still on yesterday's time, and it's 2:30 p.m. at the moment, and I'm still awake, and I'm still working.
Awake. I'm awake.
Yeah, but for how long are you awake now?
Well, now probably about 5 hours, maybe a little less.
I'm coming up close to a 36.
See, you're just trying to show off.
I'm not trying to show off. I'm just working.
Yeah. See, that's what I meant. See, hence he's trying to show off by working. He just thinks he's better than everyone because he actually does stuff.
Yeah, well, ask NotJah if I do stuff.
I was gonna say, like, he does some pretty cool stuff.
I know, and I really should be nice to Peter because
half asleep. I make better stuff than you do.
Hey, I know.
This is what Cap's about to say. Is Cap, you really should be nice to Peter at this stage, given what you
since you still need an intro.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I probably should be nice to you only for the reason of I still need my intro.
I need to figure out a way where I can send someone a video that will automatically crash a week later. That would be
Peter, that is just being mean.
Yeah.
Hide secret messages in your videos.
Yeah,
I already have done that.
Have you?
People just haven't found them yet, but they're there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did a review on someone.
You what?
In their own intro.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I saw what you did for the other person. I don't know if I meant to name them or anything, but yeah.
And I saw what you did for NotJah, and that's pretty cool, Peter.
Yeah. Yeah, NotJah's is pretty cool. They's is awesome. I like the spaceship bit.
Oh, you haven't seen They's new one. You haven't seen They's new one.
No, I haven't. The only one I've seen.
He's got a new one.
New one.
A new one.
The only one I've seen is the one that's on his channel that he's used for video. I don't think I've seen a new one yet.
Yeah, I called it.
He was saying, yeah.
I called in some extraterrestrial help for the new one.
Oh, okay. I'll have to keep an eye out for it then.
Maybe that's the same one I saw.
Mole.
Molly,
Yes.
you still around?
Yes, I'm still here. What's up?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Trust Don to jump into an ongoing conversation with.
Good morning.
I want to say this real quick to NotJah. I gotta get going because I gotta get ready to catch my bus. So I guess I'm going from good day to goodbye.
No, so we can't even boot you, Cap.
Nope, I'm gonna end it before you boot me. Goodbye.
Cap,
bye, Cap.
I wanted to tell you something before you go.
Don't gone.
Shit, motherfucker.
He's already gone.
Hi, my cheating wife.
You could have tried to keep him around a little bit until I got to boot him.
I love you, honey.
Hey, Dean.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
So you've cheated on... Wait, that's why Cap just bailed. He saw you coming in. He was like, this bitch. He was going on about... He was trying to stay on long enough that you would get on there, and I didn't realize he was going so soon. But
yeah.
Yeah, because he wanted to go on a big Shakespeare spiel and try and steal your love back.
Oh, you should see my Facebook page.
I've seen a lot of his messages. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Hi, Giggle.
Good morning.
Giggle. That is a really cute nickname, actually. I like that.
Would you believe I've had that nickname for years?
Damn, I would actually with yours. It does make sense.
Nicknames are much cooler if other people make them up for you than if you try to make them up for yourself.
Yeah, but I never made that one up.
Yeah, I never made mine up either. I've been the mole fucking I was like 12.
Nadine, we need to make you Scottish.
I could be actually, but you know.
Yeah.
How do we change someone's nationality?
Why?
We need to make you Scottish and just call you Giggles McAllen. That has a nice ring to it.
Or McDuff.
Giggles McCallan.
Yeah.
No, but my last name is Callan already, so Giggles McCallan works.
Yeah,
really well.
that's why I said we need to make you Scottish.
Well, or it's either that or it could be Irish and big Giggles O'Callan.
Yeah, O'Callaghan.
No, not even ever.
Yeah,
it's like, how do you get those freaking letters, extra letters in my name? There's no H and A in.
They sound better. That's why.
I think
if you're going to be Scottish, you have to sit there and do the ooh when they say things like brute.
Like boot.
What's all this about?
Yeah, exactly. Don't I already say the oot?
I'm terrible at accents, motherfucker.
Sorry about everything.
About. What's this about? About.
What are you going on about?
I just try and always remember it's a boat. You know, like a boat, a ship, a boat. I don't know who taught me that. It was one of you guys, so it had to be either Don or Nadine.
A boat.
Because it helps the accent.
Yeah, if you're non-Canadian, try and say a boat. You know, it's a boat, not about.
But it's literally about.
Yeah, no, it's literally what it's about.
It's about.
Because my mother and my father, they both were trout.
Not a boot.
I just don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's getting better. You kind of run all the letters into each other.
Yeah, I'm trying to work it.
You know, just that better.
I have a fairly decent New England accent.
You're just talking about bullshit.
So what are we doing this morning?
Whatever the hell we want to.
Awesome.
We were ripping apart the Guyman's latest video in our first run. We were just watching it through for the
first half. Okay.
And we just finished it, and now we're in the after party part. So you joined the fun.
Woohoo! Well, you need some girls in the party because, all guys in the party is kind of.
Aside from Cap, it was a dick fest around here.
Yeah, you know, you need some adorableness around here.
Damn straight.
I thought that's why I come in.
You are adorable.
I've been missing you, I gotta admit. I've been having my Donny withdrawals.
Yeah. That's for sure.
So y'all, almost all of y'all have just woken up pretty much, eh?
I just woke up.
Yeah. Aside from however long you've been in here with me. Gonna go for it. Peter, you're probably the only one that hasn't you've been awake for a little bit now.
Yeah, for a little bit.
A little bit for him, 36 hours.
just a little bit.
That is a little bit for Peter. That motherfucker stays awake for days.
Yeah.
He is the closest thing to a robot we know aside from XC.
For sure.
Uh-oh.
He's-
Someone's in trouble. Someone's in trouble.
XC, welcome. Oh my God, Cap is going to be spewing. Is Cap still in the chat?
No, he only spewed a little bit, and then I think he left because he hasn't said anything since. He could be listening and sleep.
We literally
he's getting on the bus.
We literally started this out. Me and Cap talking about how we wish you'd be in here, and because I know that you're going to be working your way into a position, XC, where you can join me in a stream live. Hey, Cap is still here.
Hi, Cap.
And
I don't know what I was doing. I don't care. Whatever. I was trying to do something and it wasn't that.
I'm sure they'll know what you meant.
That's what I meant to do.
And yeah,
Good morning. I need some more coffee. I'm gonna pause.
We're hoping that we can get you actually in for a live one like we did tonight, because I know you've probably missed most of it, but it was kind of good fun, and I'd love to have you in. I'll show you how to do it if you don't know, but I think you'll enjoy it. Anyway, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just went.
Actually, don't worry about stuff. Yeah. Haven't you heard me? I apparently not, but that's okay. I stutter a lot, and I get stuck on a word, and that's. I have to have coffee, or else my brain won't start.
I'll admit, I'm not quite there, XC. Oh, hey, Vash. I won't.
Hi, Vash.
I won't lie necessarily, but I really don't like this stuff. I'm a brilliant barista. Like, I can make you a fucking amazing coffee, but I cannot stand it.
Oh, we need to get Cap in here. Fuck's sakes. Go ahead. I give up. I'm just gonna shut up.
We did have Cap in here. He just was a little bitch and decided to leave.
Yeah, jeez. Some people.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Vash, by the way?
It's
good to see you. Yeah, I don't know.
And hi, Mole.
And then went completely
he's
silent.
in chat. He's just not chatting.
Hello.
I know.
I'm just. I'm trying to talk to my old lady and get the kid ready this morning. So,
you're right.
But I'm here. I'm just trying to multitask.
Multitask.
Oh,
I'm multitasking. And I'm not falling asleep. I promise. I just woke up. I fell asleep on a stream the other day, Nadine. So I joined your club.
Really?
On my own stream.
You're...
And they just kept streaming for like 3 hours after I was sleeping.
I had to boot him. I was like,
which is fine though.
I figured out how to boot people when I have like not even in control. It's awesome.
So my headphones are mixed up.
You're more than welcome to have presidential power. If I ever fall asleep on my stream, NotJah, you have presidential power.
I can't do anything but boot you and let the stream end after 10 or 15 minutes. That's all I can really do. I don't have the powers to do anything other than that.
Well, I
know what you're saying. I just want
you guys could have all just left me there sleeping fucking for hours and fucking people watching nothing, you know.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Did you watch it? Did you watch that? Did you?
Yeah, I did. I watched it.
Oh, yeah. We tried to play it cool.
That'll teach me to take my night meds fucking that early.
What are you gonna do?
I woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and my headset was still on and my computer was on my lap. I'm like,
welcome.
NotJah, I'm laughing at this comment you made on Atheist Republic.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You know which one I'm talking about?
I do. You can go ahead.
Okay, I'll say. Atheist Republic tweeted out. Atheist Republic tweeted out, "Is there any point to not having sex until marriage?" NotJah says there might be a point, but it won't be inside her. And then does the badumtis. Oh, I found that hilarious.
Hey, Josiah says good morning.
Oh, welcome, Josiah. Good morning. You're welcome to throw him an invite.
If you don't have sex before marriage, it's like buying a car.
I could do that.
Drive. Horrible idea.
Well, what about sex after marriage?
Well, that's fine too. That's fine. I'm just saying.
It's okay if it's a personal choice.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
If you want to come in and enjoy it.
But it's just one of those things that you have a sincere disadvantage.
It's up to you not to invite it, yeah.
Absolutely, Josiah. Come in. It's a significant disadvantage if you choose to not until marriage, because. But that is, of course, if you take marriage as seriously as some do. These days, marriage can be bailed from pretty fucking quickly.
Right.
I think they need to get rid of all the laws and tax things and all that crap for marriage, and just treat everybody equal, whether they're married or not.
I can imagine some of the taxation, if you're becoming a dependency in any way of a couple or whatever in a dependency economically, I can imagine that some form of taxation could be reasonable for the sake of acknowledging that dependency. And if one is with an income and one is without, that it can ensure that as a household can still remain a active part of society without going bankrupt. As a single taxation on the wedding or on being married, like you pay a bit of money for it or whatever, that I can appreciate. But further on that, the extra expenses, all of the bullshit that you say that you do get slung on by the government over being married, agreed.
But the thing is there's lots of situations, like with polyamory, the way the tax laws and everything are right now, it doesn't work for polyamory. So what do you do there?
Did I turn the stream sexual?
No, it doesn't matter.
You're non-sexual, buddy.
Don can do that all by himself if he wants to. So
yeah, you can't see where my hands are.
But I can.
Ta-da!
Godless Johnny, welcome. You had fluid in your lungs. It was a bad time.
I'm so glad you're
my lordy,
out of the hospital.
I'm glad you're out. Good to see you. Well, sort of see you in the chat and all that. Why have you not?
Thank you, Clover. Lover. Yeah, that's what we need.
So, the XC lover.
XC.
Is that the one that's been doing the Guyman videos with you?
Yeah.
That certainly is.
Oh, okay.
That is a one and only XC. So whatever you do, make sure you don't say anything that is incorrect in any way, because you will get marked.
We will get graded.
Oh, hey, XC.
Slope fallacy.
XC, did you know that the Earth is flat?
Oh no.
Of course it's
Let's see how many
Not just sent me a link. I don't know why.
Not only is the Earth flat, but reptilians are all in positions of power.
Let's see what our grade is now.
And penguins and polar bears protect the ice wall.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, Penguins of Madagascar is a documentary.
Penguins with guns and polar bears that are trained to attack.
The polar bears know Taekwondo.
Can I point out that the whore of a man that stole my wife is now here?
What?
Sorry about that, Don.
That's fucking hilarious.
I don't mind sharing.
You've got two men. You've got two men jealous of you.
Oh no, I've got more than that.
Slandering you. Sorry, hold on. And one brony.
Hold on. I gotta say this. XC says, frustrated atheist, no, just no. I'm not going to grade you for that comment because you were just trying to get me going.
Oh yeah. Yes, Mom. Don't you can't get one up on them.
Oh, I will continue with all the wrongness.
Like they'll just
I
continue
before
to
E.
ignore your ass.
Wait, what is XC?
Oh no, I thought you were gonna do GI.
No, I was gonna say what is XC's what is XC a teacher of?
What isn't XC a teacher of?
Students?
A teacher of Guyman.
Yes, students.
Well, I don't know what else teachers teach.
All I can remember is history, but that's because it was CAP that does history, and I was talking to CAP for ages about him and his teaching. So I can't fucking remember. XC, it's on you. What do you teach again? Isn't it the same thing? Isn't it history as well and social
studies? No.
Yes.
Well, sort of.
Because he does history, which is a bit of social studies and geography involved in his history.
Well, that's great because social studies, I never paid attention to.
I had that done.
Sorry. I was just thinking, my social studies teacher, the only time I had a problem with him is one day we decided to steal his bottle of rum out of his desk.
Oh, God.
And yeah, that was like the worst few days we had with him, so we never stole his liquor again.
That would probably, that would piss me off too. I can understand that. Especially if you're a teacher.
And he couldn't really
us, right?
Yeah, he couldn't really rat on you because he shouldn't have had rum at school in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he can't make your life hell. Yeah. Now, how did detentions work in your school? Where I grew up, we got each detention was 40 minutes long. It was before school and either the library or the cafeteria, somewhere where it was really fucking uncomfortable to sit and boring as fuck. But if you got 20 or more, they suspended you. And back in them days, this was the 90s, mind you, they made you work off your detentions. So you had to come in after school and do free janitorial work. And for every hour you worked, it knocked off, like, I believe it was 3 detentions. So pretty much our high school, I pretty much cleaned my high school for 4 years.
Stellar student then, hey? So
Yeah,
caring.
I got in trouble in school for talking more than anything, believe it or not.
Can someone time out Cap?
Seriously, Cap.
I'm the only one that doesn't have a wrench, so no, I can't time him out.
Wait, no, I gave you a wrench.
Oh yeah, you did. I'm sorry.
And don't time out Cap. They're having a battle over my love.
I know, but I'm going to time him out if he does not come back and join the Hangouts.
Okay.
If he's just going to sit there.
Let him have a little bit of a battle over my love then.
Well, that's what I want to.
Without joining the Hangout.
I don't want to have to read it. I want to hear it.
Hi, Mies. Good morning.
Yeah, Mediocrity's been with us for a bit. I'm surprised they've held out so long because they were with us while we were doing the Guyman. Them and Spooky. CAP Brony joined us.
Get ready as well.
I don't know who all was here. I kind of woke up for a second, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go and join you guys, and then I fell asleep, and then I woke up when I woke up again, and said I was getting dressed.
So hard. What treachery is this? Thy bird brain that tries to stolen my love is now trying to prevent me from buying for.
Mute Russ.
Oh God. I'm not even getting involved.
Don't you dare mute my suitors.
It has begun.
It has begun.
What treachery is this that I see?
I'm surprised it wasn't Peter.
You, Russ. You're making me
settle down, Willie.
Yeah, you're messing with me.
Hey, Cap, you want me to really hurt you? Christopher Marlowe wrote all of Shakespeare's plays.
I really don't know. I can't say how true or accurate that is, honestly, because I don't know. I do believe I've read something that did have a ghostwriter.
My first hobby. Now, come on.
And how many is it now? Nadine, how many hobbies?
I will say this.
Well, there's only 2 official hobbies and a wife. And a wife, because Diana's married to Don and I too. So.
Yeah.
What about your others? Don't you have, or are they siblings and families and stuff?
Where?
I'm thinking, isn't there like all sorts? I've heard you say it so many. Oh God, who's getting?
No, it's
called on Facebook.
I was engaged to secular for a while. It was a arranged engagement, and apparently it didn't work out because then I got engaged to, then I was arranged to be married to Don and Diana, and that ended up being really, really quick, and we were married. And we were married a few minutes later, and then I proposed to the pheasant.
You proposed?
Yeah.
Oh.
Josiah, what is this that thine eyes here? That thine eyes here. I was not even worthy enough to.
Frustrated! You're making me frustrated.
Chaosism wants to know if you're collecting honeys.
Oh yes, absolutely. The more the merrier.
You never know when it's gonna die. You gotta have a second backup.
Yeah,
exactly.
The more the jinglier.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
If I get enough helicopters going, I'm wondering if I could just take off. I'm sorry, I just couldn't help that.
Oh my God!
It's like the first
I did
thing
not
that
want
popped
that
into my
visualization. How is that the first thing that popped into your head?
Because my mind is so bad and dirty.
If
1,000 meters for 1,000 years wouldn't get a corner of it.
If you had enough drones and you hooked them all up simultaneously, you think you could pick up a person with them?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just wondering.
Oh, sweet, lovely Nadine, thou.
I may even have a third husband, Nadine.
I'm trying to talk to my love.
Trying to woo you with Shakespeare.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I gotta try to keep her away from the bird brain over there. For the brain of the birds.
You could just be one of her concubines.
It's concubines.
Concubines. Yeah.
That's a guy concubine, a concubine.
Oh, I am in Newfoundland.
Huck,
UTC minus 250.
Oh, Oh, what fools these mortals be.
Oh, God. I didn't even see who did it that time.
What?
Enough Willie.
Oh.
What happened?
Are you muting yourself now, Cap?
No, I'm talking. No one muted me.
Frustrated's got his finger on the button, I think.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
It's either that or Mole does, but I'm pretty sure it's.
No,
I'm pretty sure it's.
For
I'm just
thou not
myself
knowest what
occasionally.
thine culture thy lacks.
It
This
wasn't
is
me.
why we don't give you guys nice things.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
What is this that I see of Josiah? Is thou chicken that thou holdest thy tongue?
Not chicken, pheasant.
Probably grabbing a
Oh,
coffee or something.
But thou cannot be a pheasant, for the pheasant does have some bravery in thine soul. Thy just is cowardly by holding thy tongue and not speaking the truth of thine love.
You also can't speak ye old English for shit.
I know. I was going to go to a Shakespeare on the spot.
Money keeps getting muted and sidetracks somebody.
Yeah.
Can't get his thought out and finish the sentence and just leave it at that.
I am trying my best to get good at Shakespeare. And I'm just trying to go with it off the top of my head, which makes, at least when it was in the chat, I at least had time to think about it instead of trying to, move it off the cuff.
All right, hey, maybe this is totally off subject, but when do you want to play Tuesday? In the afternoon?
Oh, Tuesday, yeah, afternoon would work.
Okay, how do we find each other on PokerStars?
Okay, we'll get together. What time in the afternoon is good for you? Is it unmute Cap? For fuck's sakes, before I hurt you. I'll come and find you.
You're in Newfoundland, so you're an hour ahead of me, right?
I am not muted.
No, I think that might be a glitch. It might be a glitch within Hangouts because
Okay.
we went through the mute game.
My thing has remained open.
Good.
I'll DM you later today, and we'll figure it out.
It's 4:30. I've got to stream at 4:30. Cap, you Central?
Yep, that's
Monday, Tuesday.
On Tuesday, so
yeah.
Before that.
Yep, that's when we play The Tempest, which is not one of my favorite Shakespeare plays. I didn't really like that one. Then again, it was a forced read, so that might be why.
Yeah.
Oh, today's Tuesday. Shit.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I want to play some poker later. How do we find each other on PokerStars though?
We'll DM. We'll do a quick call or something. Okay, so 4:30 today. So this afternoon for me is an hour and a half. This what?
I love watching you think.
Why is it? It's either this think or this think. They're two different things. The one is thinking about something mentally, and then the other one is thinking about something I'm trying to do physically.
Yeah.
What I think is I think NotJah's trying to become your hubby.
Yeah. Well, he could be my Australian hubby.
Maybe.
Thy physical thing thy best because it's accompanied by thy math. My math can light up 1,000 rooms, for it is so beautiful and bright.
Oh, that reminds me of a song.
He got a thought out. So yeah, Mo, we'll it's so 4:30 Central is what time now? 8? It's 8 o'clock Central now, right?
Yeah.
So we'll need at least an hour and a half to play, or maybe 2 hours to play a game, I would guess. So 2:30 Central, does that work?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'll have to leave.
How did we end up in the dating game?
I'm here. I'm here.
And I must, and therefore, because she is here and the treacherous Josiah hangs around, I must therefore fight for my
man's world like a big-eyed girl.
I cannot
Makes you act so funny, makes you spend
my money.
my money.
I'm not saying.
I didn't hear. I didn't hear who muted you.
A while ago, when you started
I have
muting
a
Cap.
feeling it was possibly Nadine.
No,
So
I
no
would never
wonder
do
why
that.
I kept saying that. That's not. You know what, Nadine?
What?
That's not very nice.
Yeah, really. Imagine.
It's getting close to time.
Bad Nadine.
Russ, how dare you my lovely lady?
Now,
I have one
Russ.
thing to say to Josiah. I have one thing to say to the chat, only because it's the best one I got. This is I have to leave here. I have to actually off in about 25 minutes.
And down. A wiggle and a walk, giggle and a talk. Ooh, makes the world go round.
Oh,
nothing in like a
big eye girl. Make
so
me act so funny. Make me spend my money. Make me
feel
real
real
like a
long neck goose.
Oh, baby, that's what I like.
That's what I like.
I want to say this before I leave, since I don't think it was actually on the stream last time when me and Josiah were actually reading the back and forth. I think it got muted when you were playing darts. You turned us down. So I want to say this because it is the best Shakespearean line I got, and I want to say it before I have to leave because I actually got to leaving in about 25 minutes. It is, what is a man to do that he hath already pledged his heart to another? For sadly I have given my heart to one whom I love. Curses be unto God for the failure to give man two hearts, so that he may love more greatly. What pain has it caused men to love more than once?
Cap, you still have an American accent. You can't read Old English with an American accent. You have to do that with a British accent.
Oh, you care? No one cares. I can read with an American accent. Because here's the thing.
That's why
I wrote that line.
That's why you keep screwing up. You have the wrong accent.
I can't do accents. I'm sorry I was born in the States and not in England.
Well, then don't read Old English because no one is talking in a Southern accent with an actual British accent. Because
I don't know such accents. I do not have a Southern accent.
What's soft light beyond yon window breaks?
Hey,
y'all. Why don't you read some fucking like J.D. Salinger or Harper Lee or something? Mark Twain.
Because it's not as educational as Shakespeare is.
I say.
You take that back. Mark Twain is just as good an author as Shakespeare.
You want to know something? I have GE coming on for a role of Shakespeare. So if you want to hear Southern accent of Shakespeare,
that will be fun.
That
will be fun.
That will be awesome.
Hold on. I can see GE if he were to do Romeo and Juliet, be like, "What? Soft, y'all window breaks."
Okay, now I want to see GE play Romeo.
Today
I want to see that now.
I want to Shakespeare part, Cap.
Cap, you have to get it right. It'd be something like "to be or not to be."
That is
the question. You guys are wrong because it's not written in all caps. So therefore, he wouldn't be doing an earbud warning.
Yeah.
Today I learned. It would be funnier to hear him do it.
Why is everybody having a Shakespeare fetish or something?
Oh, because when Cap hits five,
There is a bit of that.
I'm sorry, I do like Shakespeare, honey. I forgot to tell you that before we got married.
I know that about her. That's why I want to woo her with Shakespeare to take her away from that evil pheasant who has blended
an evil pheasant.
side part.
You should get every atheist you know, and we'll all do a whole play. We'll each play a different part.
Hey, Mole, I have parts open. If you want it,
I'll read a part.
Okay, I'll message you the parts I have left, and you can pick a part. Because
what play are you doing?
Right now
Macbeth.
it's
Macbeth.
And
I'm Lady Macbeth, and they. Oh yeah, they's my other husband. They is Macbeth, and I'm Lady Macbeth.
Okay, cool.
And I don't know. I don't know if I need to talk to Paul about this, but Shannon is Lady Macduff. So yeah.
Awesome, Shannon's Lady Macduff.
So I am sorry that thine love I have to cheat on for thy play. So thy heart breaks.
Oh my God! Please, NotJah boot camp.
We're gonna have Russ's ears bleeding too. That's awesome.
Another 20 minutes, okay?
Look, I just find it unfair that I can't mute you.
You don't know how to mute people?
No, it's the fact that he's stuck on mute, but somehow still talks.
That's because you muted him too much.
You wore out.
I think Google Hangouts has decided that Cap has been muted way too much lately. That he needs a break of that. But I say Google Hangouts is wrong.
Right.
I vetoed that decision.
Well, your boy does not. We're going all biblical here, and your vote counts that of half of a man's right now.
Well, I'm sorry, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got lots of men behind me, so I got lots of votes.
That's funny. That's funny you say that, Frustrated, because I'm working on a video right now, and the very first is five reasons why God's word is authority, and the first one is the first thing he said was, in the Bible there's nothing, or the Bible says nothing that isn't worth teaching. I'm like, oh yeah? I'm like, I can think of fucking 15 verses off the top of my head that fucking are horrible teaching.
But
I'm being good and waiting until it's my turn. It's my turn because I waited and waited.
It's not your turn. Not your turn.
While I was on vacation, my landlady was doing her Bible study for
so if I talk over Nadine,
or whatever,
she'll get really angry because she clearly wants to explode with what she wants to say. So if I just keep talking, will she forget? I can't keep talking. I'm not that good.
Are you talking silly again?
But she
is somebody talking?
She pipes up about the journey that Jesus and his mother and his father did to go to this one city, and it was 300 kilometers or miles or something, and then they had to walk back, and when they were walking back and they were almost home, the father didn't have Jesus, and they had left him there, and they didn't find out until the women caught up, because the women and the men traveled separately. And I looked her in the eyes and I said, see, this is why men should not run anything.
Well, it's because
you want an example
was such
why
an unforgettable character.
You want to see why man should not be in charge? He forgets his own child.
Look, it's because Jesus was such a forgettable character.
Yes, apparently. But either way, she didn't talk about her Bible study to me for the rest of the night.
Oh
dear.
Yeah.
So your Leland's a JW, right, Nadine?
Yeah, she's a JW.
And you guys know Artemis, right?
Yeah.
His landlord's Amish.
Oh.
Wow, really?
My
landlord that's Amish.
Fundamental Christian.
Yours is?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow. Well, her and I get along like just fine. We're like, she's like my mother. I'm like her daughter. She's her daughter's schizophrenic and isn't able to be kind of the typical mother-daughter thing. Like she can't.
Right.
She doesn't have. She can't do it, and so she never really had a daughter. So when I came here my dad was living here. So when I came here, she started hauling me out to do, the typical mother-daughter stuff. Go shopping together, and go have coffee and go shopping, all this kind of fun stuff. And so I became her daughter. But we get along just fine, even though fundamentally religious views are quite separate.
Well, technically, my landlady is my aunt, and she is she was. I don't know what she is now. I don't even know. I don't even think she goes to church anymore. But I don't know what she does on Sundays because I'm usually working. But she was, when we were growing up, a Southern Baptist, and so we're getting married out. Me and my fiance are getting married out at her place because she has a lake, and
oh, nice.
And I'm dreading the moment whenever we have a get together, and it's time for them to pray, and and she comes to call on me.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to. It's not that I'm don't want to bring up I just don't bring up the atheism to her because because I don't want to cause any kind of conflict with her because I love her dearly.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
If she calls on me to pray, I'm not gonna just sit there and pray. I'm gonna tell her I can't do that, and she's like, and she's gonna ask why, and I'm going to have to say it's because I'm an atheist. I don't do that.
Okay,
well, you could pull out a secular prayer.
I got a question for you, Russ. My girlfriend's a devout Christian, they pray before meals and all that stuff. I mean, I'll at least keep my mouth shut and let them pray. I don't join in.
Oh, I do too.
But I at least respect them. I mean.
Yeah, I do. What I do is whenever they do pray, I sit there and I sit quietly. I don't.
I just wondered how you went
bow
about
my
it.
head. Yeah, I sometimes bow my head, but most of the time I just kind of look around the table and just wait.
Yeah, I do that too. Especially when I go to meetings and they pray at the end of them. I just sit and look at everybody and they're all praying. I was like, this is kind of weird.
You could always pull out a secular sort of prayer and just say, I'm thankful for having my family and friends together.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, but the whole entire thing is the whole entire thing is at the beginning.
Yeah.
They always do the Dear Heavenly Father, and if I just start off with I'm thankful for this, that it'd be like, oh, you didn't start off with the Heavenly Father. It's like, is it because I don't believe in your Heavenly Father?
Yeah, I guess so.
But
that
if you
sucks.
replace that with Spaghetti Monster, and then you say your little prayer, and at the end you say,
Dear Flying Spaghetti Monster, Dear Flying Spaghetti Monster, thank you for stretching out your noodly appendage to bless us with this food.
Russ,
Yes.
I'll say one thing real quick.
Oh, yourself.
I actually have to get going here shortly. Legitimately do. I was just saying, you can say, oh, Heavenly Father, and mean it, because we are all made from stardust. So the stars are your father. So you can say it and still mean it. It's just not to the same one that they're saying it to.
Cap, hold on. I need to clarify this. We are all made out of stardust, so the stars are your father. That doesn't compute.
That doesn't.
I'm trying to find a way to twist it so that
if you can make it,
it still doesn't compute, Cap.
Yeah, well, screw you.
Who's the mother?
Yeah.
The stars below.
In this scenario, who's the mother? Because I'm pretty sure that you didn't come out of your father.
Gravity, maybe gravity. The gravity got all the stardust into, and
there we go, gravity. Gravity's mom. But I just want to say one last thing real quick. You have to get,
okay, Columbo.
Before you say the last.
Let Cap fucking finish.
I literally
before you say the last thing, finish what you were about to answer. Who's the mother?
The stars, the hermaphrodites.
There you go.
It's Carmen's mom.
There.
So how demonstrate
I
to me?
I want to finish this up real quick because I do legitimately. I got like literally 2 minutes, and then I got to close my laptop and go wait for the bus. So I literally don't have time. I was just gonna say I'm gonna get going. I will talk with you all later. And as a final thought, Nadine, my love, my heart will pain for thee while I
boot him.
Now, go on. Farewell. May thy day last.
Cap. About this bus, it's a short one, isn't it?
Don't forget your
Love you, Cap.
Love you,
Have a
Cap.
great night, mate. You're awesome.
But,
Thanks for coming around.
Shakespeare's allowed on my channel, by the way, Raz.
It was a lot of fun.
I'll still mute him if he starts it.
I started this with Cap.
I'll boot you if you mute him.
It was a lot of fun to do this with Cap. So if anybody in the chat doesn't know, go make sure to sub the CAP Brony. He does some great videos, and he's really making some awesome progress on his videos at the moment too. So I definitely recommend checking him out.
Yeah.
Okay, now, but back to what I was saying. I know that one day, I don't know if she really is going to care because, I know that one of my sisters, her husband is also an atheist, and she has no problem with him, but it's me, so I have no idea how that's gonna react. But it's just gonna be a problem whenever it's time to pray and she tries to ask me to pray, and I'm like, I can't do that.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! I'm Chaos. I'm 666 subscriber. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Mark of the Beast, baby.
Yeah, my Twitter my Twitter followers were 666 there the other day.
Oh,
I
really?
got a screen cap.
When I get there, I'm going to screen cap mine too. I'm not too far off.
I'm at 669 now.
Oh,
wait, what is this? Followers?
My followers in Twitter.
Rub it in, guys.
I've got a lot of Twitter followers only because a lot of mine is.
Shut up, Peter. Well, I'm at like 300.
Did I get muted there?
Something in subs.
I think so. I don't know.
I wasn't paying attention, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because you were on mute for a long time.
It is possible Cap might have muted you, thinking I muted.
Cap muted me.
That's why that would be why you were so quiet for a while.
So anyway, one thing I was going to say was about your prayer issue. If all you got to do is one time offer a prayer up to Satan, and you'll never be asked again.
Yeah.
You know how?
Oh, great, Balthamit!
Thank you, Dark Lord.
Oh, great, Balthamit! I'm sorry, who is that? Oh, Balthamit? Oh, you don't know about the Church of Satan?
Wouldn't it be funny if Satanists went door to door? Do you have a minute for me to tell you about our Dark Lord?
It's funny that you say that because I don't know about actual Satanists, but the fact that LaVeyan Satanism was started as pretty much as a troll religion is fucking amazing. I love it.
Yes.
It's like at the time, atheism wasn't really atheism wasn't the thing that was combating religion, and so LaVey was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'll make my own, and he did it. He trolled the shit out of Christians, and I was like, that's fucking amazing.
Bro, everything got quiet.
Because we're watching that what he put up there.
Oh, I was looking at Twitter.
Yeah, no, he's got the thing of Gallus Iowan doing his twerk and Buffalo Billy impression.
Oh yeah, I did. Come
like,
on, who doesn't love that?
Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me.
Okay, I'm so playing it. Give me a second. This should work.
Play it.
I need to.
What up, present? Yeah, it is very, you know, it is a very touchy subject. I understand that.
Would you fuck me?
But yeah, it's just, yeah, basically they.
Would you fuck me?
Yeah, on the street.
I'd fuck me.
There's my nightmare. Yeah, no, I know.
We got a
so hard.
And
yeah.
The safest way. The safest way right now might be to convince her along with her parents.
Yeah, she's kind of.
You are saving this for posterity.
Mr. Starkey, I hope you got
what's going on? Why am I getting like 10 or 12 or whatever? Oh,
I was getting that too.
I was getting a weird triple back or something. It was really
well.
weird.
It might have been because during because whenever he was doing that, he was the only one talking.
Yeah, and it's like we were getting a extra loop of the stream for a minute. It was really weird, and I thought it was mine, but mine's not. Mine's muted, so it couldn't have been mine.
It's probably Cap's fault.
Yeah,
I was
Cap
just
did it.
gonna say it wouldn't be that it's like there were lots of people talking at the time he was doing this.
No, it was an extra.
Okay.
I could hear Dawn like 3 times. It was weird. It was like I could hear like Dawn's voice, extra voice, an extra voice, and I know he wasn't talking because his mouth isn't moving.
Maybe he's a ventriloquist.
It could be.
You ever think of that?
I'm
or
sorry,
do you
honey.
only think of yourself?
I'm sorry, honey. I did not think about that. I didn't. I beg your forgiveness. I beg your forgiveness.
Okay, I guess so.
Thank you. Oh my. Oh.
Oh lordy.
Lordy. Oh.
Lordy, I weigh 240. Oh, what?
What?
Dark Lordy.
With me and NotJah, we both got kind of mixed up in that channel.
What?
I heard it
I
again.
don't even know what they were talking about then. I thought I'd caught the audio, but there was nothing really going on, so sorry about that.
Yeah.
What was there a funny moment in that? I guess.
Man. It's hot as hell out here.
Is it already pretty fucking hot?
Yeah,
Gotta love summer. You know what's weird is every time it's wintertime, I can't wait for summer to get here, and then once summer gets here, I'm like, this fucking sucks, man. I want it to be fucking cold again.
Yeah, right now it's 63 degrees.
We haven't had a
That's in
spring
Fahrenheit?
in 16 years.
Yeah.
It goes from winter to summer.
63 Celsius, I would be dead.
Yeah, I think we all would be.
I know that's like
That's
what,
like
120?
no, it'd be like 100.
I don't know the
No,
math.
it'd be like 150, wouldn't it?
At about 80 degrees Fahrenheit, I start like, well, no, 75, 80, I start not being able to think very well in that kind of.
God, yo,
Well,
that's like normally our winter.
Our winter's about hovers anywhere between 45 and 28 and 45 most of the winter here.
Oh wow.
And that's
Yeah,
that's
see,
not cold. That's kind of normal for here. Cold is in Alberta when it gets down. In Alberta, it's cold. It gets down to -40. Both of them are -40 at the same time.
Yeah, you see, my fiance,
don't need any of that.
she's from New Hampshire. My fiance is from New Hampshire, and she would tell me stories about what they used to do in the winter. And there's one where she said that they went out and rode their horses, and the snow was up to the belly of the horse. And I was like, yeah, and if I was there, I'd been like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah.
And it would have left, because fuck that.
Them poor horses, fuck.
Mm.
Can you imagine how hard it was to walk around with that shit?
Yeah, and there was one time she said it was so high that the horses were able to walk right over their fence.
Oh wow.
That's not deep snow. That is in no way deep snow.
That to me,
look.
I grew when I was growing up. There was deep snow. It buried houses regularly.
I'm sure.
Okay, but you gotta say,
why is it staying on my screen, guys? I have not got
I don't know.
myself presenting.
No, all I see is Josiah's thing up.
I'm watching the YouTube part.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. My YouTube part was just going spinny, so I exited out of it.
It is just showing you.
Let us know in the chat. Are you guys just getting my image constantly, or are you actually getting?
I can see your image, but maybe it's just maybe. I mean, there is lag between what's going on.
Yeah, I know, but I hadn't been talking at all, and all I've been seeing for a while.
Yeah,
no. All I see is Josiah's is up. Is the only one that I see up. Nobody else's is moving.
Oh, that's so
but you gotta think, Nadine. My where I'm from, if we get snow, it may be about 3 to 4 of my fingers wide.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So 3 to 4 inches deep.
Yeah.
Somewhere
No, well,
there.
just a couple of inches, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of inches deep, and so
that's just a lot of dusting.
people are over here talking about how, it's like, oh yeah, it get, there's one year it got this many feet, and I'm like, yeah,
feet doesn't happen around here. I know.
No,
but that's why I would die in Texas. I need it to be like cooler.
The deepest I recall it being around here was we had to dig our way out of the house, like literally to open the door and dig our way outside.
My grandfather digged us out regularly. You ever see those big plows, the ones with the they're like 2-story stacks on them?
Yeah.
Well, one of those would go by the road. Like there was 2 weeks of the year, every year I couldn't go to school because the snow was so deep, and the snow was deep enough to bury a 2-story house.
Oh wow!
Hey,
and you could come out the attic window with the crazy carpet if the plow hasn't come by, and get way the fuck off into the pond, and then it would take you hours to get back home because you've gone so far. But the plow would be going by, and all you would see was that much of the stack and the smoke coming out of it, and the snow just flying because it's so deep. And my grandfather would have to come and dig us out every year, and then I would dig a tunnel next to it in front of the door so that I could build myself an igloo, and I would get in trouble because I pushed all that snow out into the path. But yeah, that's pretty deep.
Look, we've had a lot of fun. I just think it's probably about that time that I kill our stream.
Okay.
And end it for them. So we're going to all say goodnight. I want to do a quick run by them. Don't make it too long or anything. So Peter mainly and Russ, you tend to also like to have a long outro. So everybody shout yourselves out and say your last words, and we'll start with Don.
I'm another freaking atheist, and I have a YouTube channel.
Oh, well, that's succinct. I like it. Sounds like something I would do. Russ.
Me? I have a YouTube channel as well, and I do stuff and things.
Awesome.
No, that's cool, dude. Peter.
I'm Peter. I came here because I was working on something, and I have by now finished what I was asked to do.
That's too long.
So that's basically it.
Nice. I like the way you work, Peter. Just brother.
You just
Green Faithless Pheasant on Twitter.
Nice, Nadine.
Nadine Callan, go visit me at my craft channel. Bye.
Creations by Nadine.
Creations by Nadine. It's all in this channel.
Molly.
I'm Unholy Mole. I have a channel. Check it out.
And I'm NotJah Witness. Check me out at NotJah Witness. We all love you all, so we're gonna catch you all later. We're always around, so make sure to sub, like all the niceties, and have a bloody great time. We appreciate it.
Now, everybody say your sign off all at the same time.
All right,
in 1, 2, 3.
Stay
frustrated.
Bye, everyone. See you.